Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
Hello, I am Alex.
I'm Will.
And we are the Blood Brothers.
No relation.
And today we are talking about Friday the 13th, giving our official rankings for one of the most iconic franchises in all of horror.
Mm-hmm.
Will, you want to take it away?
Sure. You know, what's interesting about Friday the 13th is it's one of the most popular horror franchises, but it's not... I don't think quite as... It doesn't have the same high highs that that Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, and Nightmare on Elm Street have.
I mean, it is up there, and it is a popular franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason was a huge part of the 80s.
Yeah, it was one of the most profitable because it didn't take a ton of money to make them.
Even with the MPAA trying to butcher this series for many, many years,
right.
Which I can't wait to talk about.
Oh boy. And until Halloween Kills came out, it was the longest running horror franchise. Halloween Kills tied it for 12 films, and Halloween Ends will make Halloween surpass it.
How many? Wait. I want to agree with you, but how many films does Puppet Master have?
Not as many.
All right.
But yeah, that's true though. That is true.
There's so many of those.
There are.
But yeah, Jason had number one in films, and now Michael is about to take it over with Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
But the big reason why Jason has so many is because eight of these movies all came out in the 80s, back-to-back years.
Yeah. Yes, some of them even ended up coming out within like months of each other. But
given the quality of some of these movies, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, sometimes you can really tell. But yeah, it's incredibly popular. I mean, you know, obviously Jason is an iconic character. His look, which of course he didn't even get the hockey mask until the third film,
and his outfit, with the exception of his mask, was always evolving. It was Michael's got the jumpsuit,
right.
Freddy's got the red and green sweater, Chucky's the good guy doll.
Yeah.
Jason's outfit was always changing.
Yeah.
In part 2, he had the sack over his head with the overalls. Part 3, he finally gets the hockey mask, but he's got like that green jacket.
Yeah.
And it just gets dirtier and grimier and sometimes wetter.
Yeah.
As the series goes on. But I always kind of like that about Jason, that he never seemed to just have one outfit, with the exception of the mask.
Right. But I mean, that mask, that hockey mask, that is an iconic image in horror. And
Kane Hodder is hands down the best Jason.
You think so?
It'd be I can't remember the guy's name who plays him in part 6, but it'd be between those two guys.
Yeah. See, I also do love what's his name? Is it Ted something? The guy from 4. What's his name? Yeah, Ted White in 4.
He's good. And not that anyone who has played Jason is bad. Just Kane Hodder really brought him to life.
He brought a...
And a lot of... And unfortunately for Kane Hodder, he played Jason at a time when Jason movies were not that good.
Yeah, he was... Yeah. He was in mostly in the lesser movies.
And he tends to be the bright spot in those movies.
Yeah. It's just such a fascinating franchise because they managed to really milk it for quite a while. Because it took Halloween a long time to get to where Friday the 13th is. Whereas with Friday the 13th, you had, 10 of them over the course of 20 years.
And that's a lot. And I believe parts 1 through part 8 that was a 8-year span of Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a very long streak in the 80s that ended with Jason Takes Manhattan.
Right.
There's a reason that movie ended that streak.
Right. Yeah, that was, yeah.
I mean, Jason got so big. He was a part of pop culture. They did a gag of him on the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah, where he was being interviewed.
Yes, and he's just sitting there all quiet. It was awesome.
Just like giving Arsenio, basically, it's like you could almost see the facial expression of like, just like this, like, I'm so done.
And kudos to Kane Hodder for doing that in full makeup.
Oh yeah. But yeah, let's go and get started. You went first last time, so
that's right.
I'll kick this one off.
I won't nearly be as passionate about Friday the 13th or tell you that you're wrong.
Right.
I might. Depends on what's at your bottom.
Right. Yeah, that one I think might throw you off. One of them on there will throw you off. And I have my reasons.
All right, go ahead.
So, number 12. I think we have the same number 12, which is Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This movie is so fucking dull.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
bad.
It's not even like bad in an interesting way. It's just, for one, it doesn't deliver on its promise, but that was, I think, because they wouldn't give them enough money to do.
They didn't have enough money. They only had enough money for those iconic shots that we did get.
Right, because the rest of it was shot in, what was it, Vancouver?
Yes. They're on a boat.
Yeah, and they're not even in a city for half the movie.
The movie's called Jason Takes Manhattan, and instead of Jason taking Manhattan, it's Jason goes on a fucking boat cruise.
Jason Voorhees in Jungle Cruise.
Somehow would still be a better movie than this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Jungle Cruise was a better movie than this.
I mean, damn it. If we could have just had Jason in Manhattan just tearing shit up, like, have him go toe-to-toe with the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
I would have loved it. Just go all out. And instead we get this piece of crap
Have him
movie.
somehow get, like, blown up giant. Have him climb up the Eiffel Tower, climb up the Empire State Building like King Kong. Have him fist fight the Statue of Liberty. I mean,
just have the statue come to life.
Yeah.
Swing the...
Like Ghostbusters 2 style and have him fight the Statue of Liberty.
Awesome.
I mean, it would be ridiculous, but it would at least be interesting.
And this movie is not interesting.
There's nothing to it.
All. And Jason's makeup in this is so trash.
Yeah, it's like...
It's the worst he's ever looked.
It is, because he looks boring. It's literally just... It was almost like he's wearing the Michael Myers mechanic jumpsuit.
It really
and then the mask.
is.
Like... And then the whole thing with, like, his, like, the final girl having visions of him as a child, like, just didn't work at all.
Well, and apparently it was she was on Crystal Lake at some point after he drowned, and her uncle pushed her into the water. What a dick, by the way.
Yeah.
And young boy Jason is trying to pull her underwater.
Yeah.
Like, did they not see part one and the way he looked? He doesn't even look human. And in this one, we get little, almost adorable little boy.
Right. Yeah, they didn't...
With the most horrible Jason makeup I've ever seen.
They didn't make
They couldn't even get the makeup right.
No, they didn't make him, like, disfigured.
Yeah. From scene to scene.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And not once did he actually look like the way young Jason looked.
No, not at all. I mean, he had hair. Jason was bald.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah, it's just, really the only good moment in it was the gag with the billboard.
I think there's a couple moments in
that I enjoy. The uncle...
But the best one is... Jason looking at the billboard with the
and they're just kind of almost doing a take to the camera. The uncle character he was very well acted. That actor was really good.
He had a couple lines where I was, what's with your delivery, bro?
Oh, of course, but like, yeah.
When the sexy slutty student tries to seduce him, and he's just, what are you doing?
Yeah, Peter Mark Richmond is his name. He's just, I just mean like you could tell he was a good actor.
I will say, throughout the whole movie, he did his job because I couldn't wait to see him die.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, I forgot he was in this movie called Friendly Persuasion. That is, that I recommend. It's a like period drama, but anyway, sorry. Big side note. Gary Cooper's in it, but yeah, this one just there was nothing to it.
And and that's just, we've only talked about Jason.
Yeah.
And Manhattan.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about the rest of this movie.
No, because there's like...
Our final girl, Rennie, it's like she's sleepwalking throughout this whole film.
Yeah.
Throughout most of the movie, her eyes are like halfway closed.
Yeah.
And she's just, where's my dag?
Yeah.
She meant to say dog. But there's a scene where she encounters...
says dag. I forgot about
There's
that.
a scene where she encounters our two mean girls.
Yeah.
And they had just talked to her uncle, and her dog is missing. And she comes in, and I swear,
yeah, it sounds like she says "dag."
I feel like she messed up her line.
Oh yeah,
because she's supposed to say, "Hey, have you seen my dog?" But it comes out, "Hey, have you seen my dag?"
Yeah,
it's like she was about to say "dad," referring to the uncle, and then remember that character is actually the uncle, but also remember that she was supposed to say "dog."
Yeah. My dag.
Open your eyes and read your script, lady.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, have you seen my
fun
dag?
fact, one of the mean girls, I believe the actress's name is Kelly Hu. She was in Scorpion King as the sorceress.
She was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kelly Hu. Oh my god, she was. Wait, was she? She was,
If only she could have used some sorceress magic to save this movie.
Yeah. She was Yuriko in X-Men 2. Lady Deathstroke.
That's right. That's right.
I forgot all about that.
Somehow, still a lot better than this movie.
Oh, X-Men 2 I think is one of the best ones.
Oh, X2 is hands down one of the best. But Jason also goes
But yeah, even Scorpion King is way better than this one.
I'm not saying a lot.
It is, because that movie is pretty dumb.
Well, and even in this movie, we get Jason teleporting.
Yeah.
Usually with these iconic slashers,
Yeah.
it's kind of vague whether or not they're actually teleporting or not. It's full on. Jason is freaking teleporting.
Yeah.
Kelly Hu.
There's no other explanation.
Kelly Hu is stuck in this ballroom dance thing, and every time she looks toward a door, Jason's there. And then all of a sudden he's not there. Then all of a sudden he's in front of her, choking her. It's a cool kill.
Yeah.
But why does Jason have to stoop low to teleport? You're fucking Jason. You don't need to teleport.
Right. And on the subject of the kills, most of them aren't even very good.
No.
Like, one of them had already been done in a parody. The boxing one.
It was done in a parody?
Not of Jason, but it was done in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is a sci-fi horror parody movie.
I have yet to see that movie.
It's great.
And I really need to
It's
see
a great, like, classic sci-fi horror monster spoof. But they do that almost that same gag.
Ironically, that scene is one of the better scenes of the movie for me. It's the boxing scene.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I like when Jason kicks the stereo, and
that was funny. There are moments that are kind of funny.
New York gangsters are getting onto him. He just turns around and shows his face, which I kind of wish they would have just left it unknown, given what we got.
Mm-hmm.
But him just showing his face, scaring everyone, was great.
Yeah, really, the parts that worked the best in it, which there aren't very many, but the parts that do work are the funny parts. None of the actual horror parts work.
Well, because they don't. This movie just feels like such a ripoff of the other Jason movies. I mean, we get a typical Crazy Ralph character.
Yeah.
They never should have killed Crazy Ralph. I'm sorry. They should have just kept him around. just be the red herring for all these movies, because that would have made fans go crazy of maybe Crazy Ralph is Jason's dad.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
That
theory.
would have been a fun theory.
You're doomed. You're all doomed. I mean, even the Crazy Ralph wannabe in this one says the same line.
Yeah.
Almost the same way. Just this voyage is doomed.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
I'm doomed from watching this piece of shit movie.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh my god. So, moving on. Number 11. This one might be a little controversial. My number 11 is part 3. I don't care for part 3. I think it's just shit.
Okay.
Which sucks because Steve Miner is not a bad director, but the 3D gimmick ruined everything else in the production because...
Well, and a lot of actors had to, at certain points, they're not even acting. They're just making sure they can get the object and the camera the right way. Because this is the 80s. They don't have the technology that we do today.
Right.
They can't just make it happen.
And they couldn't put any sort of atmosphere in the movie because they had to keep it so clean and well lit for the 3D to work. So there's really nothing like atmospheric about it. It's never, there's no shadow or darkness that gives anything a shroud of mystery or tension. It
is very bright. Now that I think about it, it's a very bright movie.
It's almost like they shot it.
Even when Jason kills Dick Rick in the eye pop.
Yeah.
You can clearly see him holding on to him.
Yeah.
And I know we're supposed to see it, but the scene could have been dark. Could have been more darkly lit.
Yeah.
And it would have been a little more terrifying than what we got.
Right.
Especially the god awful dummy effect.
Yeah. It was lit and shot and acted like it was not a horror movie.
Well, and I feel part 3 was kind of hindered to begin with because part 3 originally was going to continue Jenny's story from part 2. But unfortunately, Amy Steele's agent talked her out of doing it. And the original script was Jason follows her to a hospital. Yeah, either a hospital or some kind of psychiatric
it was a mental asylum.
Mental asylum.
Yeah, or a psych ward or something.
Something like that. Yeah. He was basically going to be stalking her and trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And even though that's kind of a knockoff of Halloween 2, still would have been a lot better than what we got. And because Amy Steele turned the movie down, they basically just rehashed the first 2 movies. I mean, we get the Kevin Bacon kill again in this movie.
But it's not scary because there's no atmosphere to it.
Nope. And, I mean, some of the kills are really good, but, it's just hampered by the 3D effects.
The only good things about it are the eyeball kill, which, as much as it didn't look particularly realistic, was still kind of a cool kill.
It was.
And the fact that this is the one that introduced the hockey mask. It just was bad. I really don't like this one.
I brought up Dick Rick earlier. Mm-hmm. The character's name is Rick, but he's a dick.
Yep.
Straight up a dick. And he's supposed to be the love interest of our final girl. Here's how he's first introduced. Our final girl is walking around the house. He grabs her by the throat, puts her against the wall, and instantly tries to make out with her. And she's ironic. And to his astonishment, she's not turned on by this.
Yeah.
And he's just, what'd I do?
Yeah.
You're a dick, Rick.
Yeah.
Dick Rick. Sucks ass.
Drick.
Yeah.
Drick.
He just sucks. He's one of the worst. And this entire movie that he's spending time with her, he's just trying to get his dick wet. Mm-hmm. He a dick. Dick Rick.
Absolutely. My number 10 and 9, I had to try really hard to split hairs to break this tie. And this is another one where I think you'll be surprised. what got the edge.
All right.
Because my number 10 is part 7, The New Blood.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you know what's coming next. Like after this one.
I know what's coming next.
You do. And I'll explain. Part 7, I felt like was just the ultimate shark jump for the franchise. It was, what if Jason, was fighting this bad Carrie knockoff? And
You mean
telekinetic teenager!
Yes, another funny dead meat gag.
Another little dead meat shout out. We love you. We love you, James. We love the kill count.
Yes. This movie, I mean, I believe they've even come out and said that that it was gonna, they wanted a crossover at this point with Freddy, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, Paramount and New Line still neither of them would budge.
And to be fair, why would New Line want to work with Jason when Freddy's already making way much more money?
Yeah. So they basically said, what if we rip off Carrie and make it almost like a Jason versus Carrie?
What is with Tina's facial expressions in this movie?
Like, apparently she wanted them to not be super, she didn't want it to be the Carrie, the wide-eyed stuff. But
and that's fine, but
it didn't work all the time.
No, it just looked like she really had to take a shit really bad.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, that was the constipation face.
And it always looked like she was on the verge of crying.
Or like right about to sneeze, or... and sometimes it worked, but a lot of times it really didn't.
We also get an Uncle Charles type character from... Uncle Charles was the uncle in Jason Takes Manhattan.
Right.
We get an Uncle Charles type in this one.
Yeah, Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Cruz.
And this is another guy that is clearly a good actor. Well...
Charles did better. I mean, granted, Manhattan
sure.
came out after this one, but...
Right.
I didn't much care for the psychic subplot. It didn't work for me.
It so didn't belong, and which there will be a lot of totally not belonging in my next one.
At least make her a badass instead of like a scared little girl who's afraid to use her powers.
Yeah, and the whole thing
I would have loved it if she was like in complete control of her powers, and it's just, oh, here comes Jason. Nope.
Yeah, just do the pinball scene from Freddy vs. Jason. Tilt. The whole thing with her dad being at the bottom of the lake just didn't work.
Jason looked cool though.
Jason looked cool. Yeah, this was Kane's first outing as Jason.
I love how this comes down to, and I don't know why Friday the 13th movies enjoy having our final girl paired with a lover or a love interest. But I love how Jason is not even interested in the guy by the end of this movie. He's just straight up trying to kill this telekinetic teenager. Yeah,
he's just as annoyed with her as we are.
Truly, they embraced Jason as a straight up monster. Mm-hmm. His look was awesome.
Yeah,
and I even love his mask.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they. And one of the few things that does bother me about Friday the 13th is they clearly try to say that all these Friday the 13th have happened in the same universe.
Yeah, his look does evolve, but they kind of try to establish a loose continuity by having
very loose continuity. Yeah. The axe mark to the head.
Yeah.
Even the propeller blade from the boat that gets all up in his face at the end of part 6.
Yeah.
Like part of his mask is gone.
Yeah.
Which I actually like because you can see some nasty teeth going through that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's just a shame what a great look wasted on a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's just terrible. I can probably pop in a new blood and have a good time, but I'm not gonna actively. Ooh, I can't wait to watch New Blood.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I feel about it. Like,
yeah, pretty much. It's
meh.
like, yeah, it's just more of this kind of, it's not good, but
it's not.
It's not awful. It's kind of in that gray area of, yeah, it's bad, but it's not. But there's way worse. It could be worse. Like, it's bad, but it could be way worse.
I will say, at least Friday the 13th always seems to do a good job with parental figures, or at least from the mom side of things.
Right.
Because Tina's mom, I like their relationship.
Yeah.
She's very much looking out for her. And even when Dr. Cruz is clearly trying to use her for her psychic powers, the mom gets pissed off at him. Mm-hmm. So I did like that.
Yeah.
And I hate how Dr. Cruz uses her as a shield for her to get killed and for him to get away. Fuck you, Cruz.
Yeah. My number 9 is the one a lot of people have as their number 12. And that's Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
This movie sucks.
It does. But the reason why I don't have it nearly as far down is because the gore is excellent.
Yes, I believe this is when it was finally sold to New Line.
It was.
And the MPAA, I guess New Line can get away with it.
Yeah.
More than Paramount.
I think there was a little bit more. Oh, we forgot the sleeping bag kill was in part 7, The New Blood.
That's right.
And that was cool. And that's one where I actually think it was better with the MPAA cut.
Yes, because originally it was going to be...
It was going to be like him hitting the tree with
gallons of blood coming out through the sleeping bag, and it just they turned it to one hit, which works.
Yeah. And I think that works if it's just one crack. Like that's
how strong this son of a bitch is.
Right. But with Jason Goes to Hell, it's a shitty Friday the 13th movie. But and maybe this is again another one of those sort of like with that
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
Yeah, exactly.
I knew you were going there. I didn't want you to because I hate that movie.
I was gonna say it's definitely not nearly that bad.
It could be a good movie in its own right if it didn't have Jason in it.
Yeah, or if they did, it just. But like, the gore was great. Like when you see the guy just sort of melt. That was awesome. Gnarly. I really like the diner owners. I think they're incredibly likable people, especially considering the husband is Leslie Jordan, and that man is a delightful human being.
I like how the wife hates babies, and then
all of a sudden she's super protective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason is such an emotional bitch in this movie.
He is.
Because the coroner's assistant, after he possesses the coroner, insults Jason, and Jason just has to kill him. Mm-hmm. And then, as the coroner is leaving, somehow after like being covered in blood from eating the heart and shit.
Yeah.
2 security guards, ironically, one of them being played by Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
Coroner possessed Jason is walking by, and then the security guard, that Jason was nothing but a pussy.
Yeah.
Stops, has to kill the security guard. Jason, what's with the emotions?
Yeah.
And also, when the news comes on to announce all these people dead,
oh yeah,
what is with that weird reality style TV dead?
Yeah.
Dead. Missing.
It looks like one of those. It looks almost like it's a true crime documentary, not a straight up news story.
It was funny. It was in a bad way.
It was. Creighton Duke says some messed up shit, but he's a cool. Like there's such an air of cool about him.
I didn't really get that.
I
just thought he was a dick.
He is, but there's also like his look and
I do like the cowboy look. The cowboy look definitely makes him stand out.
Yeah.
And I love how the actor would only play it if he could dress up as a cowboy.
And the actor it's like even when he's being a dick, he's still like kind of smooth. Like just his line delivery is very smooth and even though he's not as what he says and does probably isn't quite as cool as they wanted it to be, but he kind of sells it.
I mean, he does the best he can. Yeah, it's better than Steve.
See, there are times where I like Steve. There are times.
There's one time when I like Steve.
The gun scene?
I love the gun scene.
Yeah.
Him and his buddy cop. I
Yeah.
love their story in this movie.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like a buddy cop film with those two.
That would be awesome.
They're fighting, and
Yeah.
it gets to a point where they're just both sitting down. And he's just, wait, why am I punching you? I have a gun. And Steve's just, man, I have a gun. It just,
and then it takes a second. They just both just point like.
It's funny. That scene really works.
There are a few little moments with Steve where I find him likable, but there's also times where he's just kind of a pain.
Now I'm curious if maybe the way they designed his look was to go against random character tropes in horror films, because he looks like
it 100% was.
He looks like the nerd jock who usually gets killed early on in a horror film. Because, he's got the glasses and the Letterman jacket.
Yeah. It was very much they wanted to make a character that would ordinarily be a side character into the lead. And I also really commend that. And you can tell there
are things to like about this movie.
It's ambitious.
There are things to like, but there are just so many things that's not okay with this movie.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Jason having to... The only way he can truly die is to be killed by a Voorhees is stupid.
Yeah.
Jason being able to possess people is stupid. Creighton Duke being, no one's ever seen the true Jason, but the true Jason is just standard Jason with a hockey mask. Dumb! We have seen that before!
Yeah, why is he... Also, if he's, totally reincarnated, why does he still have the mask on? I mean,
stupid.
It is. But again, I'm a sucker for Evil Dead homages.
I was very surprised by that.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. But there are good things about it that would be better suited for a different movie.
And they kind of go the Halloween 6 route.
Yeah.
Except Halloween 6 came out after this movie.
Yeah.
Where Jason is trying to kill a baby, essentially, because the baby could grow up to kill him. He's trying to kill the baby and kill the baby's mom.
Right.
Which is...
What?
Somehow related. She's somehow related to Jason. And she's she's almost as boring as Rennie.
She is, yeah.
Rennie, at least, you can point her out about how terrible she is. Jessica is just... She's just there. I feel like this is more of Steve and Duke trying to take down Jason, and Jessica just happens to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's not that good, but there are things in it that I'm like, I like that, though.
If they would have just kept the opening scene of all kinds of police forces gunning down Jason, literally blowing him up.
Yeah.
And then just... have Jason literally being sucked into hell, and just have Jason fight demons the whole movie.
I mean, if you actually...
It would have been so much better than what we got.
If we actually got to see him in hell, I mean, that would be so cool.
Jason in hell, killing demons, and at the very last moment, the devil has to send Freddy.
Yeah,
would have been so much
That would
better.
be really cool. And Robert Englund plays the devil as well.
Yes, that would have been cool.
I just want there to be a movie where Robert Englund plays the devil and Bruce Campbell plays God.
Oh my lord.
But
I'd pay to see that.
I mean, just who wouldn't want to see that?
Groovy. Can we also point out in this movie that New Line just had to give Jason a house?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
This is...
His territory was always
it was the camp.
It was the camp. It was the woods. Why does he have a Victorian-style fucking manor?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because Michael has a house and Freddy kind of has a house?
Yeah.
Come on.
We don't need an iconic house tied to every single slasher villain.
No, we don't. And, I'm sorry, I can't get over the whatever the demon thing was supposed to be.
That weird lizard looking
Demon, bloody
bat.
lizard.
Like,
and to the actress who played Diane, she did not know that it was going to go up her skirt.
Yeah.
So
that was filmed with a double. Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool to do. Even with the double, not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't do that without, the
actress's consent.
Yeah.
Not, even if you want to be, you at least need to tell it you're going to use a double.
Right.
That wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And also, Jason kind of talks in this movie.
Yeah.
Because when he possesses Officer Randy, and Randy seems totally normal, he is talking. Jason doesn't... I mean, I know you can give it a pass because he's possessing someone, but if that was the case, why wasn't he talking when he possessed anybody else?
Die!
That's how I feel about this movie.
Anyway, but yeah, that's why I can't put it as low as I think pretty much everybody else would. Just because I can't.
And Jason's hardly in the movie, so
yeah.
I'm sorry, that is a big knock. And this is one of his
100%.
better looks, and we barely get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, New Line, for screwing up this movie. Why wasn't Jason fighting the devil?
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Go on.
Yeah.
I hate that movie.
Well, my number 8 is another one a lot of people probably have further down their list, and that's Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
I know a lot of people would either put Part 5 and Jason Goes to Hell at the bottom of their list, with the simple fact of Jason's hardly in the movie for Jason Goes to Hell, and for Part 5 it's not really Jason.
Yeah.
And I think that's a disservice. I think you need to go back and, at least with Part 5, go back and rewatch it. Part 5 is quite enjoyable.
This, for a long time, was my 12. But then once I rewatched it and sort of re-examined it, I'm like, this isn't that bad. It's not great. It's more just kind of mediocre, but there's...
I originally was going to have it near the very bottom of my list for how sleazy it was.
Yeah.
And the fact that the director, he comes from porn, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But essentially, all he was interested in was shooting the nude and sex scenes.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that when you're
100%.
making a horror film. But from what I understand, a lot of the girls who were in the movie said that he kept it a very safe, a very protective environment. So
yeah.
I don't knock him too much. But apparently there was an actress, the sex scene in Part 5. The actress who was going to play her actually has a role in Part 6. She gets killed in the RV with the head through the thing. She was going to be that girl in Part 5.
This story. Oh my God.
Kind of hard to forgive the director for that one.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember what... She was uncomfortable being completely nude, I believe. I could be wrong.
Also, she turned down him, like, essentially trying to hook up with her. I believe that's what happened.
I'd have to look it up to be certain, but something happened.
Yeah.
And they didn't give her the role, and I believe the excuse they gave her was she didn't have big enough breasts. And she was just, what?
Yeah. But
another big reason why it was almost near the bottom of my list, because sleazy directors just, ugh. But, he kept the actresses comfortable.
Yeah.
While shooting. But you got to do more than just, I would just want to shoot boobs and sex.
Right.
And the sex scene that we got, it's not necessarily graphic. It's just uncomfortably lingering.
Yeah.
And he apparently shot just a porno scene.
Pretty much.
And then it got cut.
They just weren't actually...
Yeah.
It wasn't actual sex happening.
I will say, due to his care of only wanting to shoot boobs, it gave the actors a lot of freedom to come up with their own dialogue.
To improv, and that's some of the best stuff. I mean, Miguel Nunez as Demon.
Ooh, baby, those damn enchiladas.
I mean, just, like...
It makes the characters feel more organic than just stereotypical assholes. Because usually a big brother in a horror film to a little brother...
Yeah.
Especially when the older brother is clearly going to die.
Right. Now, wait, was
Usually
he his brother or was his cousin?
Brother.
Okay.
Usually is a prick.
Yeah.
But they have like such a good
Reggie,
bond.
Reggie and Demon are...
Reckless Reggie and Demon.
Are awesome.
They are. And I really like that he just looks out for them.
Yeah.
And cares about them.
Yeah, the name Demon is almost like him putting up a front. Because he's actually really, you know...
An angel.
Yeah, he's real sweet deep down. He's just
really
like...
is. Even if it's clearly a Michael Jackson ripoff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was
great.
Yeah, it was very clear that Demon was just wanted to be Michael Jackson. But 80s Michael Jackson. But... What?
Just... Go on. It made me laugh.
But yeah, it's just this one to me is not made good, but is redeemed to the extent of it not being that bad by the side characters.
Now, I will say, I hate that John Shepherd, who plays teenage Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
Who did a lot of research for mental patients.
Yeah.
Thinking this is going to be something else, and then he finds out it's a Friday the 13th movie, because apparently when they sent auditions out, it was under a different name.
It was called like Repetition or something like that.
Repetition, I believe it was Repetition.
Yeah.
And
he was thinking it was going to be a much more sober film, and so he did a ton of research only to find out that it was a Friday the 13th movie, and was kind of disappointed, even though honestly it kind of made it it kind of meant that we ended up with a pretty solid, like, sincere acting performance in a Friday the 13th movie, because he's pretty good in it.
I'll somewhat agree with you on that. I think he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
We spend so much time with Pam.
Yeah, who's...
terrible.
Yeah.
That scream when Jason pops up and it's her and Reggie.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is.
And she seems like such a bitch.
Yeah, she's awful.
She's rude to Tommy. She's rude to Reckless Reggie, and you don't be rude to Reckless Reggie.
Yeah, that kid is precious and wonderful.
Pam sucks.
Yeah.
And a lot of one of the few characters in this movie who suck. Ethel and Junior. Oh my gosh. Junior is terrible.
I fucking hate Junior.
I can't stand Junior. And for a long time, just through just the fact that Ethel was paired with Junior, I hated Ethel. Ethel is hilarious.
Ethel's hilarious.
Will you shut the fuck up?
I got a bomb on me. I mean, just Ethel is really funny.
I know you like my stew.
She honestly, in some ways, at times reminds me of my great-grandmother.
Man, if only she could have been the killer in this movie.
That would have been...
She really was tired of all these teenagers shit and screwing around on her property.
Because she actually was more relevant to the story than who ended up being the killer.
You talking to me?
Yeah. No, not you.
Oh my gosh. And I will say, Jason's hockey mask, it has the blue stripes instead of the red ones. Is a subtle nod to it's a copycat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as bad as its reputation, I think.
I would agree on that. I do think the killer reveal is weak.
Yeah, because he was so inconsequential.
Oh, so and also, dude, I get that you've kind of lost it because your kid died, but at least kill your kid's killer.
Yeah, that's like.
He. I mean, I'm not saying he gets away with it because he does get arrested, but go to the jail and kill that guy.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that it just made him snap.
Fair point, but even again, this is just some bad storytelling, bad directing with he's an orphan who doesn't have any parents.
Yeah.
And but I'm guessing the dad never told him he was his dad then, because his dad has a picture of him of the two of them in his wallet.
Yeah. So you're already a shitty father. So it's like, oh, now's the time where you decide to step up as a parent?
And he's literally in 2 scenes.
Right.
With the other medic guy.
Yeah.
When he sees his dead son, and you do see his expression of just shock and horror, and him looking dead into the camera, looking all pissed.
Yeah.
And then later when it's, we got killings going on, and he does his best Robert De Niro impression.
You talking to me?
You talking to me, Sheriff?
Yeah.
No, not you.
Yeah.
It should have been, no, not you. You're not him. You're not. Stop it.
Yeah.
If we could have gotten more of the character in the movie, then I could have been fine with it. But just those 2 scenes, and then he's the guy? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also the mayor is like some kind of weird gangster style in backwoods wherever America.
But those side characters, man,
the side characters definitely
they make this movie watchable.
Very, very true.
My number 7 is another one that grows on you, and that is Jason X. This is a movie that I think once you realize it's self-aware, it becomes a lot better. The movie knows it's silly and goes for it. Now, it never becomes too snarky about being self-aware, but there are a couple of characters that are just way too snarky to the point where it's like I don't even like you anymore.
Janessa is straight up trailer movie line girl.
Yeah.
All of her lines are straight for the trailer.
Yeah.
Why don't you just stick your head out and have a peek?
Yeah.
I guess now we die.
Yeah.
Janessa's terrible.
Yeah. But the movie
it gives us the liquid nitrogen kill.
I was about to say it does give us what might be the best kill in the entire franchise, which is the liquid nitrogen kill.
He definitely felt her up.
I mean, probably. But not saying that's a good thing. Not saying it's a good thing. Just saying that.
I love how Jason is when Jason is unthawing and coming back to life. It's literally the sounds of premarital sex that wake him up. He literally is God's wrath against teenagers for
my
having
Satan
sex.
senses are tingling. But yeah, Uber Jason looks awesome.
I love Uber Jason. I wish he was in the movie more.
I do too.
Because that was the big thing in the trailers, I remember.
Yeah, it was the reveal of...
Seeing the shot of Uber Jason standing with the red eyes. And
emerging from the steam. Yeah.
And we barely got it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I like the fact that David Cronenberg has a cameo in it. And his one condition was he wanted to be killed by Jason. I'm like, hell yeah, man. If I was in a Friday the 13th movie, I'd be like, yeah, I want to be killed by Jason. I mean, that's awesome.
I love Peter Mensah as Brodsky.
Yes, he is great.
Take more than a poke with a stick to keep this old bear down. Yeah, that'll do it. Thought it was great.
Oh, yeah. Again, when you savor those moments, you can enjoy the movie.
It almost makes up for some of the bad stuff. I didn't enjoy normal Jason getting beat up by a sex robot.
Yeah.
Didn't do it for me. And her line delivery and facial expressions during that whole thing was just
it was
odd.
A little off. But now I guess the fact that she's supposed to be the fact that she's a cyborg or an android. Cyborg would mean she was part human, but android. And there were times where I oddly did kind of feel for her. Because she was, aware that she was 100% an artificial being. and really didn't want people to just think that was the only reason she liked what's his name, the guy that
I can't remember the guy's name,
But-
but her creator,
Yeah.
basically.
like she really didn't want people to just think, oh, he made me to be, just something to fuck. But
Yeah. But also, he made you to fuck.
but he did. I mean, that was clearly the original intention, and then maybe actual love happened. But at the same time, it's like I kind of feel for her plight in that regard.
He's the Krillin of this group.
He's the Krillin of this group.
Oops. What? No, that's not an oops.
I get it. This movie is funny.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
It is.
I don't hate it.
I don't either.
I can put it on and enjoy myself.
Yeah, there's a lot to hate in it, but overall, it's
and originally, this was when they wanted to do Freddy versus Jason, but they didn't have enough time to put together or something, and
it was still
still working it out.
Yeah, they were still like trying to find the right script because everybody and their mother was writing a Freddy versus Jason script, and so many drafts were being passed around and written and rewritten.
It's like, hey, we need to do a Jason movie. What if we send Jason to space? Sean S. Cunningham. Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yes, put Jason in space.
And I will say, I don't know if this was intentional.
I'm still waiting for Jason in the hood, though.
And then we need Jason back to the hood. I don't know if this was intentional, and I really hope it was.
Okay.
There's this two characters are playing this game, basically, where they're because it's the future, they're actually in the game.
Yeah.
And Jason interrupts the game by killing a dragon with a machete, which that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
And Jason then kills the two game created guys in the game. They're still alive in real life, but I think before they're trying to turn the game off, and one of the characters is just game off, game pause, game off, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just, I think he's looking right at Jason, and he's just, I think this thing seriously needs a reboot. I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't know.
But if it was, I would have loved.
If it was,
love it.
bravo.
Does it need a reboot? Yes. We're in space. It's time for the reboot.
Right.
As enjoyable as it is, by the time you get to space, you know what you are.
If that was intentional, then that line is gold.
And also, I would like to point out that because New Line now they own the character Jason, but they don't own the name Friday the 13th, which is why with Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, it wasn't called Friday the 13th Part 9,
right.
Jason Goes to Hell. So that's why we switched from Friday the 13th to Jason has the main title.
Yeah. But I think Victor Miller, who wrote the script, has now somehow gotten certain rights back to like the name Friday the 13th. But it's still real complicated, and but
don't let the remake be the last one, please.
Funny you mention that. My number 6 is the remake. It's...
I hated it for a long time.
Yeah.
And the reason why I hated it was just, we talked about Part 5 being sleazy.
Yeah.
And the sex scene being uncomfortably long.
There's a sex scene in this movie that goes on forever.
It's... you can literally find that scene on Pornhub.
I mean, It's just...
bad.
It's graphic, and it's... goes on forever.
And it's not the only one. There's two.
But there's only the one that's infamous because it just
goes on for a long time.
Because
the other one just has she's oiling herself up.
Yeah, the other one, it's like it's still there, but it's not like
it's not as
that one's a little bit more standard Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
but then you've got the one that's just
it's so graphic, and it didn't feel necessary.
No. It felt like they were just really trying to be like, look,
we're edgy.
Yeah.
Because we're 2009. We can do this.
How do you do, fellow kids? But
I outside of that, it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
to a
I
degree.
like it. I think Derek Mears is a fantastic Jason.
Jason fucking runs.
Yeah, Jason is straight up terrifying in this movie. I think the fact that he's like this expert survivalist, like the fact that he can shoot a bow and arrow,
and he has tunnels
so that
underground,
kind of,
which explains how he's able to pop up wherever. And
Yeah.
I like how there are tripwires that have it goes down to his lair.
Yeah.
That triggers a bell to where he can
Yeah.
go where he needs to go to kill people.
Yeah, he's built
It's
a
creative.
fortress.
It's creative. The kills are great.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of combines the first 3 movies.
Yeah, I just think I like this one. There's some stuff in it that's just like, this is holding it back, but I think it's very entertaining.
And it has one of the supernatural guys in it.
It does.
Jared
Padalecki, yeah. Which is funny because this is really the first Friday the 13th movie to not feature supernatural elements.
Yeah.
Like this,
it's more
in this
grounded.
one, Jason's a human being. Like,
There's a deleted scene that got cut, and I wish it wouldn't have got cut. Jared Padalecki is, he's going around.
Oh, yeah, this scene, yeah.
Not necessarily, but throughout the movie, he's going around trying to find his sister and
Right.
constantly going to the cops. And when the cop gets killed in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
they show the cop leaving to go there, and another cop was like, "Why are you listening to this guy? You know, he does this all the time." And he says, "Yeah, you ever heard of the big bad wolf?
Yeah.
Or the boy who cried wolf?
Yeah.
What happened? Wolf ate all the sheep. It may be fake, but I need to go." I wish they would have kept that scene in there.
Yeah.
Because it would have made it make more sense why he was there.
Right. Yeah. But no, I just think, to me, the actual depiction of Jason in this movie is so good.
We kind of have a "do your thing, cuz" line in this movie.
Oh, which one?
It's near the end when our final girl is about to kill Jason, and she didn't want to say it.
Right.
Say hi to mommy in hell.
It's not nearly as bad as "Do Your Thing, Cuz."
But it is extremely cheesy.
Yeah,
but
it's
not franchise killing.
Yeah, it's not Trick or Treat, motherfucker. It's not Do Your Thing, Cuz. It is really cheesy. It's lame, but it's. I think if she hadn't said "in hell," it would have worked. If it was just "say hi to mommy," I think that
it would have been a pretty cool one-liner. But then the "in hell."
Yeah. How do we know that she's in hell?
Well, she did kill a bunch.
That's
of
right.
people.
That's right. That has that did happen. That's true.
I liked the actress playing Mrs. Voorhees.
I thought she was great.
She looked very, very sinister. I like that they chose a black and white format because it looked. I think if it was in color, it wouldn't have been as menacing. Because her eyes just look dead.
Yeah.
Like there's.
Yeah.
It's just. You let him drown. And she almost seemed more sorrow than insane.
Yeah.
But the person playing Alice was just bleh.
Yeah.
Or who was supposed to be the Alice.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Just stereotypical blonde. No!
Yeah.
Lame. Mrs. Voorhees was awesome. And I do like the kill for Mother.
Yeah. Yeah. Bringing back, that. But yeah, I like it. I like it.
Trent.
Yeah.
The character Trent he is the biggest prick.
Oh my God, yes.
One of the biggest pricks in this entire damn franchise, and that's a hard thing to accomplish. But dude, you're calling someone an asshole for trying to find his missing sister.
Yeah.
And he's mad. It's like he wants to show this mansion off to his friends, but he doesn't want them to enjoy it.
Right.
Stupid. But he gets the best death.
He does.
Stabbed through the back, and then Jason is using it as like a saw almost to take him up and down, and then throws him on the back of the truck with the spikes where he spits blood.
Yeah.
And I like how the logo is just, nope, fuck this, I'm out.
That was great. My number 5 is Freddy vs. Jason. This one, again, with this and the remake could have, we're neck and neck. But to me, what gave this one the edge over the remake was Robert Englund. It was the actual Freddy stuff that gave this one a slight edge over the remake.
My nightmare.
Yeah, because I mean, for one, Freddy's just a cooler, more interesting character than Jason, and Robert Englund is just fucking awesome.
Everything involving the fight scenes between Freddy and Jason, whether it be in the dream world or the real world, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even the bad CGI shot with the canisters when he's taking the lids off and they're flying. As bad as the CGI was in those shots, still
great.
a lot of fun.
Oh, great.
Hey, asshole! Up here!
And then the whole scene with the dream sequence with Scott Farkas in the bathtub.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah, Zach Ward, who was the same actor that played Scott Farkas in A Christmas Story, is in this, and that's one of the best scenes in the movie, I think.
Wait, who?
The older brother in the bathtub.
Okay.
He was the same actor that played Scott Farkas in A Christmas Story.
Oh, I didn't know that! Damn! Okay.
That's why in the kill count...
I see it now!
That's why in the kill count, James mentioned he had yellow eyes. So help me God, he had yellow eyes.
I see it now.
He was referencing A Christmas Story. Yeah, that's Scott Farkas.
That scene is rock solid. It is terrifying.
Again, the Freddy stuff works a lot better than the Jason stuff.
And even when he's attacking the younger brother, before he does, you're going to send a message for me. No, I'm not. No! Face to face.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And even, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to have to find another way to do it. It works.
Yeah. But
one of the few things that do work, because this movie is... Outside of those things, it's hard to be impressed by it.
Yeah, it's not impressive by any stretch, but
this has John Ritter's son in it, for crying out loud.
Yeah, Jason Ritter, who was on Gravity Falls, which is one of my favorite animated shows.
I don't like the final girl.
No, Christina Loken, no, she is boring and bland.
Why does she always talk in a whisper? Did you notice that in this movie?
It's almost like Zooey Deschanel in The Happening.
Wait. Jason was killed by water, Freddy by fire. How do we use that?
Yeah, the dialogue is so bad.
Even when she's talking to her dad, it almost feels uncomfortably sexy.
Yeah.
Just, no, I just want to go to school. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I promise. Who talks to their dad that way?
Yeah. You know what? I changed my mind. This one is 6. The remake is 5. I changed my mind. This is making me realize, you know what? I changed my mind. But Robert Englund, again, it's like, objectively speaking, the movie, this is where I rank it as far as the movie itself.
I love,
even though, but it's the Friday the 13th stuff is most of the, is probably the weaker stuff.
I'm not going to say where yet, but Freddy vs. Jason is more low for me because I feel it's a better Nightmare on Elm Street movie than it is a Friday the 13th.
It is. I'm personally going by the movie as a whole, not where it would, not how it fares with each character.
That's fair, but even the characters aren't all that great.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
we get some fun one-liners,
We do.
Dude, that goalie was pissed about something.
Yeah. That line is great. With knockoff Jason Mewes, and again just
got your nose,
like,
and then actually seeing the nose pop off, which makes no sense. It goes against the continuity of Freddy, because if it happens to you in the dream, it happens for real.
Yeah.
Bitch should have been missing a nose.
Yeah.
And why is Freddy's blood red? It's been established that his blood is green.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Logic is gone in this movie. But
Laurie has one cool line in this movie, and it's near the very end. And it's when she's about to chop Freddy's head off.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, bitch! He even tilts his head like, bitch.
Yeah, like, almost like he's... It's like, I'll give you that one. I wish that a fan of both franchises had directed this movie, because Ronnie Yu was not passionate about either franchise. I wish a fan had made this movie.
It kind of shows.
It shows, yeah.
Freddy is clearly the antagonist, and you almost have sympathy for Jason.
They're trying to make you feel sympathy for Jason.
It's like they want you to root for Jason to beat Freddy.
Yeah.
Why? I don't want that. I just want to see these two behemoths go at it.
Yeah, I want to see them fight. I don't want to sympathize with one of them.
Exactly. I don't want to... Oh, well, clearly this one needs to win the fight.
Yeah.
Lame. And...
I like Freddy more anyway. I mean...
Exactly. It's a disservice to Nightmare fans.
Yeah.
Because why would Nightmare fans want to root for Jason? They're into Freddy.
Yeah, and because Freddy's an actual, like, character. Like, he's more than just... He has an origin and he kills people. Like, he has a personality and...
I mean...
Yeah.
The ending with Jason carrying Freddy's head, I thought was pretty cool. It was like he's such a worthy opponent that his head is now a trophy.
Yeah.
But I wish we could have gotten the original intended ending.
One of the endings that was pitched involved Pinhead showing up.
Yes, they both, Freddy and Jason both go to hell where they're about to fight again, and then you hear the Hellraiser music and the chains, and you just see Pinhead emerge and just... What seems to be the problem, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been so cool.
Yeah, just the chains shoot up and like grab and like hold them back.
And man!
What seems to be the what seems to be the trouble, gentlemen?
I mean, that would have been so cool. But studios, you know.
I mean, New Line owned all three.
I don't think New Line owned Hellraiser.
Oh, they may not. Who owns Dimension Films?
That's not New Dimension is
I know Dimension is a branch of something else.
I forget, but it's not.
Is it Miramax?
I think it's Miramax.
Okay, then yeah. Damn.
But because that's the reason why it didn't happen, was because they didn't have the rights to Pinhead.
Been so cool.
It would have been dope. I do wish we'd seen them in hell, or at least fighting in hell. Yes,
that would have been cool. The ending shot of instead of the ending shot of Jason carrying the head, as much as I liked it, I hated the wink, because you can't have Jason win, because you can't have either one of them win.
Yeah,
it would have been great if they would have been in hell, gearing up, ready to fight. You hear the generic rock music in the background, and you just machete and glove connect into the movie.
Yeah, like that sort
roll
of
roll credits.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that Freddy is kind of genuinely good in the movie. But that's just because England is a great actor, and
the only thing to fear is fear himself.
I mean,
dope line.
Yeah, absolutely, because it was Freddy was finally back to being scary. After, New Nightmare kind of brought it back to him being scary, and so in this one he wasn't purely a goofy cartoon character anymore.
No screaming while the bus is in motion!
Yeah, he wasn't... Yeah, he wasn't just, this kind of Bugs Bunny type, wisecracking.
Shadow of his former self.
Exactly. It was like...
But literally Bugs Bunny. I mean, he pushes the thing in part 6. The car looks at the camera.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Can't wait to talk about Freddy later.
Oh, yeah. I do wish, though, he looked at the camera and went, "Ain't I a stinker?"
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
It's Wabbit season, bitch.
But
I guess he would say it's soul season.
Right. It's Dwayne season, bitch. I'm so sorry.
Don't make me spit out my drink.
Right. But yeah, it's not a good Friday the 13th movie, but it's overall, it's okay.
If
It's okay.
Anytime I put in Freddy versus Jason, it's solely for Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Everything else I can do without almost.
Yeah, those fight sequences
Especially
are great.
Lori.
Yeah.
She's just terrible.
Yeah. I thought the plot itself, or the concept, worked. Of Freddy. No one's really scared of him anymore. So
And he needs Jason to help
yeah, so he.
instill the fear back into the people so he can get his powers back.
Exactly.
And I actually like that concept.
That's a
of Freddy.
good. That's a good story.
I would have liked to see a Nightmare on Elm Street movie without Jason. Of no one's terrified of Freddy, and Freddy can't kill.
That was one of the proposed sequels that didn't get made.
I would have watched that.
Peter Jackson actually wrote another one that didn't get made. There was a Nightmare sequel that Peter Jackson wrote that never happened. I think it was called like The Dream Lover or something like that. I don't know. I'll need to track it down and see if I can read it.
I would love to read that.
But hell yeah, because his horror is fucking awesome. But yeah, so so swap those two. Freddy versus Jason is
Official swap.
yeah.
Please tell me we can add in sound effects.
I'll try. But yeah, Freddy vs. Jason is number 6, and number 5 is now Friday the 13th remake from 2009. My number 4, Friday the 13th Part 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm. This one, this is where we start to get into the ones that are like, this is good. It had like twice the budget or something. It had a bigger budget than the first one.
Way bigger budget.
We actually introduced Jason as the killer. You did have the little cameo from Betsy Palmer in it.
Dope.
Yeah, but this is one where, it works.
Jenny is such an underrated final girl.
She is.
I don't care what anyone says. She is one of the best.
Agreed.
She didn't turn into a badass like most other final girls do.
Yeah.
She uses her brain and she takes advantage of the situation that she's in to survive.
Yeah.
And I like that she doesn't transform into just, a tough girl. I mean, you literally see her pee her pants at some point in this movie.
Yeah.
Jenny's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't
she's
commend
great.
her enough.
She's
I
great.
wish we could have gotten more Jenny throughout this franchise.
Yeah.
Come back to us, Amy Steele. We love you.
Amy, come back to me. But yeah, it was, and it still had some very unlikable characters in it, of course. But
Scott,
yeah. But
you can tell he was cast in the movie simply because he was handsome, not because of any good acting chops.
100%. Paul isn't that bad.
I like Paul.
Paul's not bad.
He's not nearly as bad as Dick Rick.
Well, yeah, but that's such a low bar.
But even as a love interest to the final girl, he seems more genuine. That he just doesn't care about sex. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe he has a line where he tells her, "I wasn't sure if you were actually going to come," and he actually seemed worried.
Yeah,
and he does take responsibility for the other counselors when they do something stupid. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't just condemn them immediately. I like the character of Paul Holt.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's the thing I like about this movie. Even though there are unlikable characters, there are plenty of characters who I can kind of not necessarily get behind, but who I can feel something for and somewhat not want to see die.
Right.
And that would be Jenny, Paul Holt, Mark.
Yeah.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, Mark. I love Mark.
Who... I have to look at my notes, but Mark's love interest, I can't remember the character name.
Was that Alice?
No, Alice was the final girl from part 1.
That's what I thought. Vicky? I'm just going through the names of the characters.
Vicky. Yes,
Vicky.
Vicky. Mark, Vicky, and even to a lesser extent, Jeff and Sandra, the more sex-crazed couple.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I can kind of empathize with them a little more is because they felt like actual teenagers.
Yeah.
Whereas in
They felt like actual people who were really horny.
Yes.
Like,
Whereas in part one, it just kind of felt like cartoon characters in a horror
right.
flick.
Right.
But yeah, Jeff and Sandra are just kind of like, horny teens who have a sense of adventure and curiosity.
Right.
Who didn't have that at that age.
Yeah.
Mark and Vicky, especially Mark.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't go out and party because who wants to party with the guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
And Vicky kind of having a thing for him, and their little flirty dialogue.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's really sweet.
It's cute. And I hate when they die. It's
I
like,
do too.
damn it. Why did they have to be there?
Right. But Mark's death is iconic.
Yes, it is.
The machete in the head.
And then seeing the wheelchair roll backwards down the stairs.
Yeah.
From behind rather than the front. Really excellent shot.
Absolutely. But yeah, this one had fairly decent character. And again, this was also directed by Steve Miner, who directed the third one, which is fucking awful.
I can't blame Steve Miner.
No, I don't either. That was a studio decision.
Definitely put that on the 3D gimmick he was forced to use.
Yeah.
And the fact that they couldn't tell the original story he wanted to go with.
100%. I just mean, like, I hate the fact that he made one of the best and one of the worst.
Yeah.
But
directors be like that sometimes, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think 2 really works. My number 3 is the first one.
Not number 1, huh?
Not number 1. The first one, it is a little slow. I think most people, will give it that. I think most of the time it kind of works, because most of the time there's at least still a certain amount of tension there. Betsy Palmer's performance is amazing.
Her performance is truly iconic.
I mean, just...
And the fact that we never got more Mrs. Voorhees throughout this franchise with Betsy Palmer kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's so claustrophobic. The extreme close-ups on her face when she is basically being Jason.
Yeah, and just the killer mommy. Yeah, it's...
The fact that it's a mom who has snapped.
Yeah. It's...
For the love of her child. Man, this franchise has great parents.
It does. It does. This is...
Oh, y'all weren't watching my kid and he drowned? I'm going to kill all you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The thing I have to harp on it, though, is just how out of left field she comes.
That's true.
Because the whole movie is built around a whodunit. It's POV. People obviously think the killer is friendly because of the way we see Annie act toward her and the way Steve, the guy opening the lake, opening the camp.
Steve Christie. Yeah.
Steve Christie reacts when he sees her. So obviously it's a fairly recognizable person, but the fact that we never see her at all until the end of the movie kind of ruins it. If we could have gotten a couple scenes with her, even if she would have been the waitress in the diner, it would have been something.
Yeah.
But the fact she just comes out of left field, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah, there's... And again...
And the fact that production actually killed a real snake.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah.
And the person who trained that snake did not know they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Not cool.
No, not at all. But also, I mean, Kevin Bacon is a great actor, and he's able to sell some of the bad dialogue because he's fucking Kevin Bacon. I mean, he's able, I mean, some of the really bad dialogue, he's still able to sell. Like, he can kind of make it work because he's such a
talented
such a talented actor, and he's very charming, and
he is. But man, this movie, as well as part 2, have 2 of the worst characters ever.
Oh, sure.
Ned and Ted.
Ned and Ted are
I
the
believe
worst.
Part 1 has Ned. Part 2 has Ted. Even Part 4 has a Ted. And they're all terrible. They're supposed to be the comedic relief, and I just go away. Mm-hmm. Another thing I hate about Part 2 is the fact that they don't kill Ted.
Right. Because he just leaves the movie.
But luckily, he didn't have as much screen time as the other Ted and Ned.
Right.
My gosh, their comedic stuff is so bad.
Yeah. But then again, we also get Crazy Ralph in this one. And we get a cameo from him in the second one, but this is where we really get, the
red herring.
We get Crazy Ralph. We get, it's got a death curse.
Even if Crazy Ralph would have been the killer,
Yeah.
Give us something.
Yeah. But no,
You're doomed. You're all doomed. He should have been Jason's dad. I'm pushing for that theory.
Yeah. But yeah,
Where is Jason's dad throughout this franchise? I want to know. Whatever.
But no, it's...
I know Betsy Palmer had her own
theory,
backstory on it. Which I like that she did that much character work for such a small amount of screen time.
Yeah.
That kind of passion shows in her performance. Yeah. And definitely enhances the movie.
Yeah. Because at first she didn't like the movie.
No.
But once she realized how much, how beloved it was by horror fans and how many more fans she had gained from that one movie, she came to appreciate it.
And the fact that she still pops up every now and then for,
well, she did. She died recently, but
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The fact that she would occasionally pop up to do, a meet and greet, autograph, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's for all its flaws, it is iconic. It is suspenseful. It is,
when the suspense actually kicks in anyway.
Right. And the kills are great. I mean, it is a classic for a reason, flawed as it is.
And Steve Christie is a creep.
Yes.
Give me another chance, Alice. No one likes your mustache, bro.
Yeah. At least in that case, he was supposed to be a creep. It wasn't like...
She looked creeped out.
Yeah, he was he wasn't supposed to be the cool, charming guy who came across as creepy.
The cool, charming guy, he's not necessarily a love interest for Alice, but she definitely finds herself gravitating toward him. I can't remember the character's name, but
yeah, Bill.
Yes, Bill. Yeah. Man, he got it bad, even though it was off screen. Mm-hmm. Arrow through the eye, even an arrow through the dick. Mm-hmm. He didn't even have sex.
No.
He just played strip Monopoly.
Right. Which is a hilarious concept to me. Strip Monopoly, that's hilarious.
I need to play that one day.
That sounds amazing.
Couples night.
I
don't think our girlfriends would.
No. Yours definitely.
Yes. Man, but this movie unfortunately started 2 tropes with this franchise.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
The jump scare at the end of the movie, which thankfully died off.
Yeah, the fake out. Yeah, the fake out.
The fake out.
Jump scare, yeah.
A body going through a window.
Yeah.
And, literally, I was binge watching these Friday 13th to prepare for this.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times in these movies you see a dead body get thrown through a window.
Yeah.
Infuriating. And the recap of Jason's story.
Yeah, that got really annoying.
My God. These movie parts 1 through 8 came out within a year of each other every time. And damn near every time we got a recap of someone telling the legend of Jason. Come on. Yeah. Give us a break, damn it.
Yeah. My number 2 is Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. The Final Chapter.
Loosely.
Right. This one, to me is...
Real quick, can we do a shout out to Harry Manfredini?
Yes.
For constantly composing these movies. I think maybe he didn't do one, but he has composed damn near all these films.
Yeah.
So... big shout out for the awesome work that he did
a great job.
Anyway, number 2, Friday the 13th Final Chapter.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this is another one where you got side characters. Two in particular. Crispin Glover,
Before Back to the Future.
before Back to the Future as Jimmy, is the most delightful. I mean, just
Jimmy almost feels like the main character until he dies.
right. And he's delightfully weird. They kind of let Crispin Glover just go for it, and Crispin Glover is a delightfully weird dude, and so, and then speaking of, delightfully weird '80s stars, Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis.
He should not have been allowed to see naked women on set.
No, that was, yeah. But
it's not that hard to shoot. I mean, just show a POV of him looking, and then just cut back to him acting like he's looking. Don't actually let a child see that stuff.
Yeah. And apparently he was just, a complete little shit on set. But, who cares? His character was great. And
I like that his character was basically he's Tom Savini as a kid.
Yeah.
Except Tommy Jarvis actually handcrafted all the masks, which there's no way.
Bullshit.
But
yeah.
I like that they went with it.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoyed the family dynamic that Tommy, his sister, and their mother have.
I did too. Yeah, the Jarvis family is.
They don't hate each other. Even the older sister, who would usually be out partying with the teens,
Right.
does not have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Any animosity toward her younger brother.
Yeah, malice. Yeah.
Yeah, any malice. It's very heartwarming in such a film. Also, Ronnie, who is supposed to be Sandra's brother from part 2.
Oh yeah.
Which this kind of bothers me. Like, how long ago was part 2? To part 4. But
yeah.
Whatevs.
Wait, Ronnie.
Is it Ronnie or there is a character
Rob?
Rob. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rob, not Ronnie. Rob.
Yeah.
He also kind of comes off as kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Is it you? Are you guys alone?
Yeah.
Who else is out here with you?
Yeah.
Why are you asking all these weird, ominous questions like you about to chop these people up?
Yeah.
I do gotta harp on he's killing me.
Oh sure.
When he kills Rob, it could be haunting the first once or twice that he says it. The fact that he keeps repeating it as he gets stabbed over and over. Why aren't you at least trying to fight back? Instead, you're just, he's killing me.
Yeah.
He's killing me. Hey, can you still hear me? He's killing me.
Hello, he's killing me.
Camera, cut to me. He is killing me. He's killing me.
Yeah. Hey, you still there? He's killing me.
I believe it's Rob who gets thrown through the window in this one.
I think so.
Could you imagine he gets thrown through the window and he just kind of pops up, he killed me.
Or just goes through, he's throwing me.
I would have loved it.
He's throwing me. But
outside of Crispin Glover, who's the other side character you wanted to talk about? You said there
I was gonna say Tommy.
Okay, outside of Crispin Glover and the Jarvis family, the characters are very bad.
They're obnoxious, but I just to me, it was almost like they were the main characters, but it never really focused on them.
I do like how they kind of do a small tribute to Psycho, except it's the guy who gets killed in the shower.
Yeah.
What a death he gets, by the way.
Yeah.
Just literally face crushed into a shower wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the kills in this one are awesome because Tom Savini came back.
That's right.
The kills in this one are fucking awesome.
Shout out, I can't remember the actress's name, but she hooked up with the guy in the shower. Kudos to her for refusing to take her towel off and be completely nude on set. Kudos for standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
But
I really like Ted White as Jason.
Okay, I'm glad you quickly got that out, because if you were going to say, I like Ted, I was going to hit you.
No.
Ted sucks!
Yeah, but I really like Ted White as Jason For those who don't know, he was like in his, what, 50s or 60s or something.
He was
Getting
older
up there,
chap.
as he had done stunts for like old westerns. And he also really seemed to care about the younger actors. Like, he was very much like during the fight scenes and stunts, he's like, "Hey, you okay? We all good?" Like,
That's cool.
Yeah, because like there was the one girl who had to be like in freezing water in a bikini
right.
for like hours because they had to keep shooting the.
Well, I believe she was actually nude.
She was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was constantly like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, do you need something?"
And that scene is very poorly acted when she
Yeah.
dies, but I'm willing to give her a slight pass and chalk some of that up to the fact that it was freezing cold.
Yeah, it would have been hard to really get a good performance.
Not everyone
of that.
can be Leonardo DiCaprio in the
Revenant.
The Revenant.
Or everyone in The Thing. Yeah.
They at least had clothes to wear.
Right. I forget, didn't Ted White say like, "Hey, she needs help"?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like very much advocating for their safety and was really nice to them and like, kind of almost felt like an obligation to, be a guardian for them. Because I mean, it's not like they were, children, other than Corey Feldman, who was
A literal child.
Yeah, but was also not fun to work with, and did not really get along with Ted White. But he really felt obligated to, these 20-somethings to kind of look out for them when you had a director that was not particularly good to his actors. He was not nearly as bad as the guy who directed Five, but the director, Joseph Zito, was not particularly forgiving.
Well, and at least the director from Five made sure the people he was working with were comfortable.
That's also true. Yeah, so there's kind of a give and take, pick your poison with those two directors.
Yeah.
But knowing what a cool guy Ted White is, because he's still alive. He's in his 90s, but he's still alive. Let me double check. But
if we get another Friday the 13th film before he passes, he can cameo as Jason's dad.
Yeah. Or he could be Crazy Ralph.
I like that. That's cool.
Or the Crazy Ralph equivalent. You wouldn't want to call him Crazy Ralph, but you might want to have like an old man again as that harbinger, maybe even more like Judd Crandall in Pet Sematary with the, you don't want to go down that road. As sort of the, the old local.
It's very cool that he stuck up for a lot of the younger
Yeah.
actors. Very cool.
Yeah, and knowing the fact that he was such a cool guy and also able to give a good performance as Jason. I mean, Jason felt scary.
Very, he didn't, and part 4 was still when, I mean, we got POV killer for the first 5 movies until about like the last 20 minutes or so when it's just the killer chasing the person who's going to live. It wasn't until Jason Lives when we finally just get Jason in full form.
Right.
But the shot of Jason's not face reveal, but when we first see Jason in the mask is when he kills the guy in the shower.
Yeah.
And it looks menacing.
Yeah.
Just he almost has dead eyes.
Yeah.
Like you can see the skin underneath the hockey mask and all that.
Right.
But it's like there's nothing there. It's just a soulless killing machine.
Yeah, and again, that's part of why it really helps that Ted White came from doing action stuff. Is he, could he could really pass as a brawler, as a tough guy.
I hate that Mrs. Jarvis's death is off screen.
Yeah, because I feel like seeing that would have been incredibly tragic. Yeah, but yeah, I just think Ted White was awesome.
Speaking of Ted in this movie is just the worst. He's worse than Ted from part 1. He's worse than Ned from part 2. He may be worse than the two of them combined, and that's saying a lot.
He's dead fuck, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They harp on that joke way
They
too
try to
damn
milk
much.
this like joke about him calling Jimmy a dead fuck, just constantly, and I'm like, and
Why
so,
is Jimmy friends with these people?
I was gonna say,
You deserve better, Jimmy. If you knew that, you wouldn't have been killed by Jason.
yeah.
And I get that it's funny to us because the first time a joke appears, it's, oh, it says you're a dead fuck. We clearly know it means Jason's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Not, oh, you're a lousy lay.
Yeah.
But they harp on it.
It's
like the moment that joke was said, that's what this character became.
The guy who says that.
Yeah, the guy who says it is just almost anytime he talks to Jimmy, you're a dead fuck.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, look, it's just because you're a dead fuck. Listen here, you dead fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like one callback maybe could have been funny, but...
And he's also extremely damn creepy.
Yeah.
There's a set of twins in this movie, and he hits on both of them with the same pickup line.
Mm-hmm.
And he used it on both of them in front of each other. I think the first time he says it in front of the other sister, and then he tries the same line on her. You want to give Teddy Bear a kiss? No, that's not cute. You're not charming. And he just ends up watching like this weird black and white porn.
Yeah.
And for just him laughing at it so much, I hated it. I was so glad.
He was so fucking high.
He may have been actually high. See how red his eyes
Wouldn't be surprised.
were?
I mean, it was a movie set in the 80s. There were drugs.
I hate that his death wasn't more graphic.
Yeah.
It was a cool kill.
He was definitely a fun to hate character, but it didn't have the right payoff.
Yeah.
Well, my number one, Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, Part 6.
And it's so rare for a film to be so late in the franchise to be ranked so high and at number one, beating in the original.
Yeah. But Part 6...
It's fun!
It is. It recognized that the franchise was getting stale. And so it said, let's make a horror comedy.
I feel like they said, let's make a horror comedy without the intent, not necessarily without the intention of making it comedy, but without going overboard with it.
It didn't become too like, hey, get it? Like, it just, there was a lot of inherent dark humor and some sort of slapsticky antics, and then you had a couple of self-aware jokes.
I've seen plenty of horror movies where if you see a stranger in a mask, it does not mean good news.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, you've got the Gravedigger, and we sampled this soundbite for our opening of, someone, after he finds the, Jason's empty grave, and he looks dead into the camera and says, some folks got a strange idea of entertainment.
Love that line.
I mean,
I'm glad that we got it for the intro.
And it has one of my favorite lines in horror movie history. It's from these two kids. Is this the first time there are actually kids in the camp, which raises the stakes exponentially?
Finally.
I mean, that's like...
It took them 6 films in the franchise to finally understand and get actual kids up in here.
That's terrifying.
And I liked how the counselors didn't hate the kids.
No.
Which I was kind of expecting that. But the fact that they
seem to be decent at their job.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it.
But the kids, there's 2 kids that are friends, and one of them says...
They get very few lines together, but man, each time it's golden.
What do you think? I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat. And then one of my favorite lines in horror movie history. So, what were you going to be when you grew up? That was one of the funny... I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard at that line.
This movie has a little bit of everything.
It really does.
It has horror. It has comedy. It's got action. Mm-hmm. It has dramatic moments, and the tension when they apply it, it works. It's not like the horror falls flat.
Yeah.
When Jason is in the room with all the kids and he's staring at that little girl, I'm legit terrified. Is he about to kill this little girl?
Are they gonna?
Is he
gonna kill a kid?
Is he gonna do this?
Are we gonna see him kill a kid? Like, it's... And, of course, I'm a big metalhead. Alice Cooper is my all-time favorite. And the fact that he not only did the theme song for this, but also a couple of other songs of his were featured. I love that about it. He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask is one of the greatest horror movie themes ever.
I wish we could have gotten that with the opening credits.
That's true. Oh yeah, because they do like a Bond reference with the opening where instead of shooting the gun, he just like slashes the air.
Slash their blood, title card.
Yeah.
Man.
Just such a fun movie.
It is. And
it wasn't like with Sleepaway Camp where they didn't have any other ideas, so they said, let's make it a horror comedy. This was like they realized how stale the franchise was getting.
And again,
and
they finally went away from the constant POV shot from the killer to, no, you're going to see him.
Yeah,
you're going to see him in broad daylight doing his thing.
And then you've got the
it's progressive too.
It is.
It's underrated. It's
because
people don't understand how progressive it is.
Because you've got the fucking incel character that's like, man, I'm chopping at trees.
Jason grabs his arm and slings him, and his arm rips away from his body, and his face hits into the tree, which has the smiley face.
Right.
And Jason's just like, because this is the first time Jason is a zombie.
Right.
And he's just holding up the arm that's still holding the machete like, fuck, I'm strong. I'd be flexing.
Right. And then the whole thing with the guy.
And I like how the woman paintballer was the best one.
She was. And then the whole thing where it's like, he walks up with the guy, and the guy just doesn't know what to do, so she just starts shooting him the paintball gun.
And he just looks down like, really?
Yeah, I mean, just, it was just this kind of, bruh.
And Tommy Jarvis returns for the final time in the franchise.
Yeah, Tom Matthews, is that the guy's name?
I enjoyed his performance.
I love him. I think he was fantastic.
He wasn't as broody as John Shepherd.
Yeah.
And just the characters in general are fun.
I think he's a great grown-up Tommy Jarvis. And then Megan is a fun character.
Megan?
Yeah.
Megan.
All right, Megan. Yeah. Yeah.
Megan is a fun character. And I like that she's the more... Usually in these films, it's the guy who's hypersexual trying to get the girl.
Yeah.
In this case, it's...
she's
the
enamored
other way
with
around.
him. Yeah.
She's enamored with him. And even with the car chase, and she has his head down on her lap, and she's, that's what I like.
Yeah. And then just like, hold on, it's gonna get a little hairy. Like the lines are just so much fun. And then her father, Sheriff Garris.
He's almost like the asshole type. And at first watch, I'm like, man, he's a dick. No, he's actually just a good cop.
And a good father.
Because
he has every right to be concerned.
Exactly, because when Tommy first walks into the police station, he's rushing in, talking madness about a dead man coming back to life. And of course, as an audience member, we're like, you're supposed to believe him. Why aren't you believing him? Well, you're clearly a dick. No. What cop would believe that? And I like how he even has... He sympathizes with Tommy. He puts him away and he's like, I'm sorry for what happened to you and your folks.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that we don't talk about it. We changed the name. It's not Crystal Lake. It's Forest Green. Yeah. Which, fuck you, Part 7 and Part 8, for changing it back to Crystal Lake. You want to have continuity, watch the movie.
Yeah.
Watch the movie, you fuckheads.
Yeah.
I love the sheriff.
Yeah.
I hated when he died. It was the best
It was a great kill.
But...
he gets like Murphy bedded. Just
yes, and it's quite emotional for the sheriff because he is trying to protect all these kids, and even when he's consoling the kids, it's he's not being a jerk.
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? And then when he's hiding from Jason, he only comes out when he hears his daughter screaming, and he screams, "No, not her!" And he takes it to Jason for a hot minute before Jason folds him like a pretzel.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like this movie. It has great characters. It's
great acting.
Yeah, great
acting from the sheriff, by the way.
Yeah, and from Tom Matthews shows...
it's an argument between who had the better performance between Tom Matthews and Sheriff Garris, quite frankly.
Because they
both pull their weight.
Yeah, and it's the humor in it is funny.
The humor is funny. The horror is
genuinely frightening.
Yes.
it's willing to be as cheesy as a movie like this should be without ever feeling
And
like...
we get some great shots. Jason standing on top of a flipped over RV.
Yeah.
On fire.
Right.
Cool. Also, we had a quick cameo from a very young Tony Goldwyn.
That's right.
And even the randos who get killed in this movie.
They're somewhat likable.
I wouldn't say they're somewhat likable, but I'm never like, this is pointless.
Yeah, they're entertaining.
Even the gravedigger, when he looks at the whiskey, you're going to be
the death of me.
Yes, it is.
Fun fact. Was it Tommy McLaughlin? Was that the director of this one? Yeah, Tom McLaughlin. He pitched a Jason sequel at one point that never happened. So, back in the 40s, they did Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. He wanted to do the 80s equivalent of that, and he pitched Cheech and Chong Meet Jason.
Oh my God.
I want to see that movie. I'm mad that didn't happen. Like, my dad and I even talked about it, and we're like, think of how much that would work. Like, I mean, again, some of the jokes you got with the stoner in Freddy vs. Jason, man, that hockey goalie was pissed, or just like, I feel like you could have something like that.
I don't know if I would necessarily want to see it, but it would definitely have my attention.
Right. I would want to see it because I'm imagining them like on a bench and Jason approaches them and they're just like, where are your skates? Or something like that. It's just like this long pause. Where are your ice skates?
Speaking of James Bond,
yeah.
Even, like, I know they parody The Open, but can we talk about how Jason has a legit utility belt in this movie?
Oh, yeah.
He literally pulls his machete out of a sheath from his utility belt.
Hand me down.
He has a knife that he kills a cop with.
Hand me down the shark repellent Jason spray.
I do have to harp on it.
Oh, sure. None of these movies are flawless.
I mean, Jason Lives is damn near flawless.
It's
but
yeah.
Near the end, when Tommy is luring Jason toward him in the lake, I was kind of cringe with the insults. Come on, you pussy!
Yeah.
It just, that was kind of cringy for me. But
it was very 80s teenagers.
Yes, but that's one of the few things that I have to harp on. The kills themselves are great.
Yeah.
And even though the MPAA tried to come down really, really hard on this movie, they still found ways around it. Especially with I believe this movie has when he snatches a girl from inside her cabin and just twists her head all the way around.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily see the head. You see kind of like the eyes go back.
Yeah, and you
but
hear
you hear
the
cracking, which works.
Yeah, yeah. This is also the only one that doesn't have nudity in it.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So.
Even the sex scene, there's because it's the girl who was going to be in part 5 the whole time during their sex scene. She's got the shirt on, and I love that they're having sex to a Alice Cooper song, and she's like, "No, you have to keep going till it's done." I was like, about 10 minutes. Oh.
Which I've heard that song. No, it's not. Teenage Frankenstein is not 10 minutes long. I wish it was because it's an awesome fucking song, but.
She must have that shit on loop.
I guess so.
How? In the 80s, but okay.
I would, but but yeah, Jason Lives, Friday the 13th Part 6 to me is just it's the best Friday the 13th movie if you ask me.
It's so fitting that they defeat him by drowning him essentially.
Yeah, there's what I refer to as symmetry to it. It's like they.
And I love that the ending shot is Jason, hanging by the chain in the water.
Yeah.
And then the close up on the eye, meaning, hey, he's still here.
Yeah, it's
you
like
never know when he's going to come back.
He's still alive. All they've done is trapped him. He's not dead. He's just been immobilized. like, you're not gonna kill him.
It's such a great movie. It really
Yeah.
is. So, quick recap of your list, my friend.
Yes, indeed. Number 12, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. 11, Friday the 13th, Part 3. 10, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. 9, Jason Goes to Hell. 8, Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. 7, Jason X. 6, Freddy vs. Jason. 5, Friday the 13th, 2009. 4, Friday the 13th, Part 2. 3, Friday the 13th. 2, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. And 1, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Very nice. Very good list. We have some similarities, and I don't mean by our numbers matching up, but I feel like we have a very distinction of what were the good movies and what were the bad and what's kind of the middle of the pack.
Right.
All right, so with my list, my number 12, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
I was torn between this and my number 11
Yeah.
because I really want to put my number 11 at the very bottom, but this is just how bad Jason Takes Manhattan is. And I know we kind of talked about it already, but the characters are boring.
Yeah.
The love interest to Rennie, our final girl, is boring. Rennie is even more boring. The only interesting, not even interesting, the most fun character is Julius, the boxer, and he does not get enough screen time.
No.
And, Jason teleporting, looking like a knockoff Michael Myers. It just
The movie barely even featuring him in, certainly not in Manhattan, but barely even in a city. I mean...
And what's with the slow motion kill of Sam's dad?
Yeah.
Sam's dad is the the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
Who
something like that.
Has also kind of shown that he's a bit of a bad dad.
Yeah.
But unlike Uncle Charles, he actually expresses remorse to like his first mate or whatever he's supposed to be.
Yeah. But
the slow motion kill of him looking down at his dead comrade and then him getting his throat slit. Why was it slow motion? It's not that emotional.
No, it's just weak.
It sucks. And usually Jason has great kills, but the kills in this movie suck, with the exception of Uncle Charles.
Right.
And of course, the makeup is just god awful. Yeah. It's the worst looking Jason, even without the mask. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this movie is being gross for the sake of being gross when Jason looks down the sewer and throws up.
Yeah.
Also, I highly doubt New York does their toxic waste dump every night at midnight. No fucking way.
That was very like cartoon barrel of toxic waste.
Also, Rennie does have not necessarily. She has one positive parental figure, and that's the teacher, the female teacher, and she just dies in the fire when the cop car crashes.
Oh, yeah.
Which sucks. It's like they forgot about her. And it's just, oh, well, she can't live. Our lovers have to live. So...
only lovers left alive.
Only lovers left alive. What are we going to do? We'll just...
That's a movie.
I did not know that.
That's the name of a movie, of a vampire movie.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
with Tilda Swinton.
Nice.
Good. It's good.
But she, she just crashes and dies in the police car in the fire. And Rennie's reaction sucks. There's no... At least give me a dramatic scream. Instead, it's just like a silent walk toward the car, like a...
Yeah.
You didn't just lose your dog. I mean, by the way, she does lose her dog. She's a bad pet owner,
She loses her dag.
She loses her dag.
Hey, man, have you seen my dag?
Oh, Lord. It's this movie. It's just bad. It ended the 8-year run of Jason films coming out every year with good reason. I mean, for the moment, we see Kane Hodder's nasty, gooey green hands pull up on the bars of him coming back. The little squish sound it makes. That's how I feel about this movie. Squish.
Just...
It's that bad. My number 9, I'm sorry. That's number 12, bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the toxic barrel. My number 11 is Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
I
know I'm in the minority who
I can
doesn't just despise it.
Look, and I didn't want to just despise it, but for me it's that bad.
Yeah.
Why Jason has never had a purpose. Now all of a sudden he does. Now all of a sudden he has family. Jason loved his mom. Why would he kill anyone else in his family?
Yeah.
Why does he need to be reincarnated into the same Jason that we already know?
Yeah.
Since when could he possess people?
Yeah.
It's just they bring in elements that don't work for Jason.
Mm-hmm.
It's, maybe if we could have seen him die, go to hell, and the devil make a deal with him of, you have this much time to, do this and you can be back on Earth. Something. But instead it's, he's actually this weird demon lizard.
Yeah.
The fuck?
What?
Seriously, keep the opening, have Jason die, which, by the way, even though his death scene is cool, the grunts suck.
Yeah. It sounds like like when you're playing a video game and a character gets hit.
It's not even Kane Hodder voicing it, but that's
I know, it was
exactly
the director.
How that sounds.
I was just waiting for
a video game of getting hit and the health bar goes down.
I was just waiting for
It's, and again, just if Jason is possessing these people, shouldn't they be just like Jason?
Yeah.
Even
they don't
when he possesses Randy talks.
Yeah.
Officer Randy, he talks. When he possesses the news reporter jackass boyfriend, who fucking steals a dead body, terrible. But when he possesses him, when he kills one of the waitresses who works in the diner, he gets this weird look.
Yeah.
Since when?
Shouldn't they all start acting all body snatcher?
Exactly. No
drones?
expression, nothing. It sucks. And I mean, I like the idea that after they're possessed, they die.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how even while they're being possessed, when they bleed, their blood's black.
Yeah.
It had interesting concepts.
Almost like they're already dead.
Exactly. But this movie just sucks. Also, when Jason goes from the coroner to the bald cop with the mustache, why does he tie him down to a table and trim and shave off his mustache? Since when does Jason care about style?
Right.
He wears a mask, for crying out loud.
I mean, it's...
Jason, you're like a mongoloid. A older, balding guy with a mustache just still looks better than you. Why do you care?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it gave us the ending of Freddy's hand popping up through the ground, grabbing the mask and the laugh.
And with that being Kane Hodder's hand, he's the only person to play both Freddy and Jason.
Shout out. Now we just need him to play Michael Myers one time.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like what...
I like what James Jude Courtney's doing.
Oh, man, he's so great. My number 10, Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D.
Yeah.
Even I can't deny how bad this movie is.
Yeah.
The characters suck. We get random bikers in the backwoods.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
Right.
And
we got ourselves some big city bikers over here.
I feel like this movie had the potential to do this odd love pairing of the characters Shelley and I think Vera is her name?
I think so. Let me double check.
I know it starts with a V.
Yeah, Vera.
Yeah, Vera. Because they were, paired together, almost like a blind date thing. And she's obviously disappointed when she sees him. But they do have chemistry.
They do.
When they're when they're being chased down by the bikers and Shelley uses the car to run over the bikes and they're getting away, It's a really nice,
Yeah,
almost touching moment in a very bad film. And even when he tries to profess his feelings to her, and she says, "Look, I don't feel for you that way. Just give me a few minutes and then we can talk about it."
Right.
You know, it was good. And then he calls her a bitch.
Yeah.
And that kind of ruined it.
Typical sort of, trademark nice guy kind of character.
He
but...
almost had the trademark nice guy and then he called her a bitch.
No, that's what I'm saying is like that, like...
It was almost like, oh crap, we can't make these people more likable than our main lovers.
What I mean by trademark nice guy is like, I'm not like other guys. I'm a nice guy.
Oh,
they turn you down, whore. Like...
And Shelley, the character, didn't deserve that, in my opinion. In my opinion, they should have been the final characters compared to Chris and Dick Rick.
Yeah.
Chris is boring. Chris sucks as a final girl. She's just... You could take her character and put her in any horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, this kind of implies that Jason has sexually assaulted someone. You could take it that route.
Which one?
We're still on part 3.
No. I'm talking about which part.
When Chris is talking to Dick Rick, I refuse to call him Rick. He's Dick Rick. When Chris is talking to Dick Rick one-on-one about her encounter with Jason, she says he came out of nowhere, and I hate the way they shoot this, by the way. It's her. You can still see her face, but you see the flashback too.
Mm-hmm.
Hated the way that was done. But
oh yeah,
she was kicking and screaming for her parents, and he was, after her, and it doesn't necessarily... I'm not sure he had her, but she said she was on the ground, and then she can't remember what happened, that she blacked out.
Yeah.
It could be implied that there was
you could take it that way.
Sexual assault, but I know the actress didn't want... She wanted her character to be a virgin, that her and Dick Rick never had sex.
Yeah.
So the potential was there, and plus the way Jason kind of smiles at her later.
Yeah.
When he's taken off the hockey mask after he was hung, and it was kind of that was a creepy shot of Jason removing the mask, smiling.
Yeah.
Jason looks very, not gross, but just he looks terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after when Chris is hallucinating him in the barn without the mask, the blood running from the axe mark. He gets the famous... Not only does he get the hockey mask, he gets the axe to the head mark as well. And I do like the shot of...
Yeah.
I liked him sticking his arms out. It was nice. But when he sees her from the barn and she's in the boat and he has that creepy grin on his face and he's running out of the barn to go get her, and of course he disappears and they... rip off the first one. Mrs. Voorhees jumping out of the water.
Yeah.
How does she have a head?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because it was a dream sequence again, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But whatevs.
Yeah. Every single one of these movies has at least one good moment. Even the shittiest ones have at least one moment that works. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But part 3D it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I do like the all the biker kills are pretty fun. Even if the girl Fox's kill is off screen, you see the aftermath of her with the pitchfork in the neck hanging, and Loco, a white guy named Loco, getting stabbed in the stomach and the cigarette staying until the very last second when it drops out of his mouth. Yeah. Very nice. But that's about all the good things I can say about part 3D. It sucks.
Yeah.
My number 9, Friday the 13th, part 7, New Blood. Again, just the Jason versus wannabe Carrie. Yeah. And I mean no disrespect to the actress, but I believe even the director has come out and said that's what it was. Yeah.
Jason 100%.
Versus a Carrie type.
Yeah, that's literally, it can't be denied that was the idea.
I do like Jason's look is great. The
Sure.
kills are great. Even when he kills the slut girl
Yeah.
with axe to the face and throws her across the room, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But even our final girl and her love interest, the love interest, it sucks. He's boring, and apparently those two didn't get along either.
Yeah.
Which it obviously shows.
It shows.
I believe he tries.
They have like no chemistry.
Yeah, he has a pickup line that he tries, and she just kind of, it's a question, and she asks the same question back, and he's just, well, this is going great, like making fun of himself, but it's like it's not working, dude.
No.
The nerdy girl Maddie and her best friend in the movie are both like the same guy for whatever reason, and Maddie is clearly dressed up as an 80s nerd, and she has this, from nerd to beautiful, gorgeous chick makeover. I think she obviously was not in the right movie.
No, that was like the scene from She's All That.
Yeah. I remember seeing the makeover. I'm just like, not the right movie,
What?
girl.
Yeah.
Nope. Not going to work. Fun fact. The guy who voices Johnny Bravo is in this movie.
Yes, Jeff Bennett.
Yes. So, Jason has killed Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, Jeff Bennett's been a lot of people. But yeah,
and he plays this weird, like, science fiction guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff Bennett's kind of one of those guys like Rob Paulson who is in, like, everything.
Oh man, before he dies, he thinks I can't remember the slut's name. She's damn, why can I not remember?
Wait for it.
Because it's not Tina.
Is it Melissa?
Yes, Melissa.
Yeah.
After Melissa has sex with, I believe his character's name is Eddie. Yes, it's Eddie.
Yeah.
After she has sex with Eddie, and they're about to have sex, and he's not pleasing her at all. And she just, look, I was only using you to get the attention of Nick, the love interest to Tina. What is it with these damn rhyming names? Ted, Ned, Nick, Rick, Dix. Give me a break. Whatever. But
Ted, Ned.
Ted, Ned,
Nick.
Ted.
Ted, Ned, Nick, Rick, Dead Dicks.
Dead fucks.
Dead fucks. That too.
But she's about to have sex with Eddie, and he's a little too aggressive, I guess, and she's just not into it.
Yeah.
And she tells him, no, I don't actually like you. I just wanted to try to get to Nick, and it obviously didn't work, so I'm out. And later, right before Eddie gets killed, and it's Jason coming up behind him, and he thinks it's her. I really wish we could have gotten the Johnny Bravo just, hey there, baby. Then gets killed, and we just see his body.
Hey there, baby.
Whatever.
yeah, whatever. Man, I'm pretty. Oh, shit.
Oh, it's fun. But, man, I wanted to like this movie more. And I will say, even though Tina is a Carrie ripoff, I guess, I hate to call it fight scenes, but her fight scenes with Jason, they work for me.
Yeah.
And if we could have just gotten that throughout this movie and other people getting killed because of their fighting, it would have been a lot better. And Dr. Cruz's death sucked. It should have been a lot more than what it was.
Yeah.
And it would have been if it wasn't for the MPAA. And I like how he takes the little horn and sticks it in the girl's eye.
Yeah.
And when he grabs the boyfriend of that girl, and he's just like literally crushing his head in, That was a cool kill.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of the kills are great in this movie. Okay, you big hunk of a man, come and get me. Say no more.
Right.
Clunk. But I just feel like such a good Jason gets wasted in this movie. Mm-hmm. That's how I ultimately feel about it.
Yeah.
And Nick is so boring, Jason doesn't even want to kill him.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's bad. My number 8. I think this one will surprise you.
Okay.
Freddy versus Jason.
No, that's fine.
And again, a lot of it just has to do... I feel this is more of a nightmare movie than a Friday.
It is.
And I can't side with Jason over Freddy.
No.
And it's not that I necessarily like Freddy more. It's just they're both evil people. Why are you trying to make one into the good guy?
Yeah.
And...
Quit trying to make one of them sympathetic.
And the only reason why it's at number 8 and not higher is as much as I enjoy Robert Englund and all the Freddy versus Jason stuff, the rest of the movie drags it down that much.
Sure.
And even in this one, we get the damn Jason recap. Why?
Yeah.
I don't need a Jason recap.
We didn't need the Freddy recap either.
I was okay with the Freddy recap in this one because it's done by Robert Englund.
Right.
And it even it goes from, I was alive, then I was dead, and that's when the fun really began. And now I can't come back because no one's afraid. So there was a reason behind it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Versus just, oh, hey, in case you're all Freddy fans, let's just say a little bit about Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, the kills are good by Jason, but Freddy, I think he only kills one person in this movie. Or he might not even kill anybody. I can't remember.
No, he kills Kira. Or Kia.
Jason does.
I could have sworn.
Remember, she's taunting him, and he eventually points to, hey, look behind you, and it's Jason with the machete.
That's right.
Because
Freddy makes
he kills the
dark meat.
Which is funny.
He
kills the stoner when he's the weird worm thing and goes into his
That's
mouth.
right.
He's already dead at that point. I'm not giving that kill to Jason. But that's the only person he kills in this movie.
Yeah, at least on screen. We know that. What's his name's brother was killed by Freddy.
Yeah. Oh wait, and he does kill the younger brother too.
That's right. Yeah, he does kill.
So 2 kills. He gets 2 credited kills in this movie.
Yeah, Mark.
And Jason gets an entire freaking massacre of people to mow down.
Yeah.
And granted, Freddy has never had a high body count in his movies, but you got to treat them as equal when you're doing them. They're going one-on-one.
Because Elm Street was never about the body count per se. It was more about the creative setups.
Yeah.
And the visual splendor of it all.
And I do like that Jason stealing one of his victims from him is what prompts him to go after Jason.
Yeah.
That I was okay with.
Yeah, that was good.
And again, Jason just hates premarital sex and he hates sexual assault. Because that girl was passed out and that guy was trying to rape her. Jason's like, nope, not today. But you also drinking and whatnot, so you gotta die too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jason is the left hand of God.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
And he had such a promising swim career.
My number 7, Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Yeah.
I honestly wanted to place it higher, but I just can't.
Yeah.
It's not Jason, and that does hurt the film.
It does.
And, it's a copycat killer who is, again, it kind of goes back to the Part 1 of Who Done It, and he gets a little more build up than Betsy Palmer.
But he's not an interesting character.
But he's not interesting like Betsy Palmer.
And he's not like giving this, epic performance within the span of 10 minutes.
Like if we could have gotten his mask knocked off and then see his face.
Yeah.
Before he died, obviously.
Right.
And then just you people took my son, and we could see
Yeah.
him just hold up a picture, like, you all have to pay.
Yeah.
This place never should have been reopened. If we could have gotten any of that,
Yeah.
it would have been cool.
Yeah.
But no, we just get, oh, he's falling, he dead. Oh, somehow the hockey mask falls off, and the weird makeup thing that he put over his face somehow fell off too, and it's him.
Yeah.
You talking to me? He literally does a
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
His best Robert De Niro, anyway.
Yeah.
It's bad. Pam sucks, but, you know, but the side characters are what make the movie. As sleazy as the director went about this film, the side characters are fun.
Yeah.
And it's not even our main cast.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with the randos who get killed. Like the two dudes who are dressed up like they're from the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird lines that they have. Crap my ass. What?
Yeah, I gotta go take a crap. Crap my ass.
And then when he's trying to start the car, you are gonna fucking start,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, clearly the director is probably looking away at boobs.
Yeah,
while
he's
the
like,
camera is still rolling.
do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
When do I get to shoot the next sex scene?
Right.
And I love Ethel, but man,
And booby. I mean, action.
I love Ethel. Fun fact: she had a brief cameo role in Mad Men many years later.
Oh, really?
I can't remember who she played, but if you can look it up, you can find it. And also, Jason really hates produce.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this franchise has an obsession with seeing food getting crushed up. This isn't the first instance it happened.
It's a visceral visual.
Part 3. Yeah, yeah. He kills Ethel, and we get the shot of her eyes widening, and then it shoots down to her hand where she's holding a tomato, like clutching to the tomato, and you see the tomato juice coming out. Jason hates fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he hates fruit.
And they're trying to say that Michael's homophobic.
Don't give these people more stuff to go off
The
of.
pun was right there.
It was good.
I'll
It
probably
was
cut
real
this
good.
anyway, but I was like, I saw this pun. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, and all the hope leaves my body. But part 5, it's the side characters, the randos make it fun.
Yeah.
Except for the homeless guy who knocks on Ethel's door, says he's hungry, she has him clean the shitter, and then you see him spying on the people having sex. Then he gets stabbed in the gut. He doesn't even get a name, I think.
Not all the randos, but
Not
like...
all the randos, but most of them.
I mean, Ethel, Demon, Reggie and Demon, as a team. Those two, like, 50s greaser type guys.
The crap my ass guys.
The crap my ass guys.
They make it fun and they make it tolerable,
Yeah.
especially with the uncomfortably long sex
Yeah,
scene.
because they were kind of allowed to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, that's right. But the kills in it are not that great.
They're not.
And a lot of them take place off screen, which
Yeah.
suck. But, that's my number 7. My number 6 is Friday the 13th, 2009 remake.
Okay. I know I like this one more than you do, but...
It took me a while to grow on it because of what we talked about with
Right.
the gratuitous nudity and just how graphic and in your face it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the director from Part 5 would have loved to direct this one.
It just went on for too long.
It did. Uncomfortably too long.
Yeah.
Like...
Guess they were giving the audience a chance to finish.
Oh, man. It's so bad. I will say, Danielle Panabaker.
Yeah, Danielle Panabaker.
She gives a good performance.
She does. She does.
But unfortunately, this movie can only have one final girl.
Yeah.
Her death was very sudden and kind of out of nowhere.
That was a good misdirection.
It was. It kind of sucks the way she died.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of hoping she put up more of a fight, but... Yeah.
It was a good misdirection.
Sister got the... And I do like how it's not the potential love interest couple who live, whether it's a brother-sister duo.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that about it.
And I do think the ending with Jason popping up out of the water, I think that's more of a homage versus a actual.
Yeah, that's an homage /
versus it's actually happening.
Yeah, that's an homage / dream.
And I will say this: both guys from Supernatural went on to be in horror movie remakes, and this one is definitely better than My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Both had uncomfortably long and graphic sex scenes, though.
Yeah, at least with My Bloody Valentine, there was only one instead of two.
Yeah.
But somehow that one feels even worse.
Yeah.
It's bad. I can't wait to cover that.
Oh, boy.
Actually, I can't wait. But, Jared Padalecki gives a good performance. Daniel Pennebaker does a good job. Mm-hmm. Derek Mears is Jason.
So good.
It's the most terrifying he's been probably since Ted White's Part 4.
Oh, yeah.
No disrespect to Jason in Part 6, but I feel as though at that point we're kind of rooting for Jason.
In a way, but also...
We're excited to see how he kills.
Yeah, and it's not... And at that point, Jason himself isn't what makes this, what makes it scary. It's not Jason's performance. It's the fact that there are actually kids there.
Yes.
That makes Jason feel like such a threat, not the performance itself.
Yes. I do feel as though Derek Mears is the most terrifying since Ted White's Part 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not even close. And no disrespect to Kane Hodder, but, kind of like you said, it's Jason in those movies was not terrifying, even though Kane Hodder was doing an excellent job as Jason.
100%.
But the kills are great. It's gory and graphic, kind of getting back to the roots.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cold opening. The cold open that goes on for like 20 minutes. Almost.
And you don't realize it's a cold open.
And you don't realize it. And for me,
that was really cool.
It almost fits because Jason has the sack instead of the hockey mask.
Yeah.
I hate how he gets the hockey mask.
Or he just finds it.
Well, he finds it with the redneck who fucks a mannequin.
Oh yeah.
Hated that. I could have gone without that. You like it when you took my virginity?
I thought it was a little funny.
I didn't. I thought it was gross.
I mean, it was, again, that's why I said a little. It was like, okay, this is uncomfortable. It was like...
He's like...
Okay, this is uncomfortable.
Stroking a mannequin. I'm sorry. I'm not... It was bad.
Yeah.
Like, all the sexual stuff, it's counterproductive to what the rest of the movie is.
Yeah, oddly enough. In a Friday the 13th movie... The sexual stuff feels like it feels out of place, oddly enough, in a Friday the 13th movie. Or maybe not even out of place, but just it feels like a side, just a detour.
But I do like how Jason is smart. Mm-hmm. I mean, when he kills the black guy, I can't remember the character's name. Jared Padalecki even says, no, he's using him as bait to bring us out. And since Jason didn't get what he wanted, he goes, he pushes him further down on the axe. Yeah. It was cool. And the screwdriver kill to the...
Lawrence.
Lawrence. What about the Asian guy? What's his character name?
Chewie.
Of course. I knew it was something stupid. When he kills Chewie with the screwdriver... Mm-hmm. It's almost nauseating.
Yeah, that one was gnarly.
It's almost like the sex scene. It's uncomfortably long, but this is kind of what you want in a slasher.
Right. Yeah, this is like uncomfortably long in a very grindhouse kind of way.
Choking on his own blood. I do like this kind of completes your outfit.
Yeah.
And Chewie as a character's lame.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally says it. Let's all be one big happy cliche.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me. And the sad thing is that he's a fairly decent actor.
He is, yeah.
Like, he was in the movie 21 with Emile Hirsch and Kevin Spacey.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I still need to see that all the way through.
You haven't seen it all the way through?
21?
Yeah. College kids and a college professor like every weekend or so. Like,
I haven't
fly
seen it
out
all the
and
way
gamble.
through, no.
Oh, it's a good film.
I'll take a look.
I'd finish it if I were you.
I'll take a look.
But that's my number 6. My number 5,
Yeah.
controversial, Jason X.
Yeah.
I will not apologize. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun movie. It knows what it is.
It knows what it is. It doesn't try to be more than what it is.
Right.
And I feel like Sean S. Cunningham is kind of going back to part 1 with, hey, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
And I did have fun.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's get dumb. Let's get dumb. Come on.
Let's get dumb. Let's be foolish. And, let's just produce. Let's just have. It's Jason in space. What more could you want from it?
This felt like the way. It almost felt like, okay, so you thought that, that the new blood was going way too far out of bounds? You ain't seen nothing yet. But in this case, they were trying to be ridiculous.
I will say the future, because this takes place way in the future. Future's boring. How is that you find someone who's been frozen for over 400 years? How is that old news? Why is the future boring? Old news, it's not fun. The CGI stuff doesn't really work, but it's okay because we know what it is.
Right.
And again, the sex robot.
It was a little weird, but
I mean,
again, like I said, I almost sympathize with her in a weird way.
After she beats Jason, normal Jason,
yeah,
and she goes to kiss her creator, before she kisses him, she says, "Who's your mama?" and then kisses him. Weird. I felt so weirded out by that. Even when Brodsky comes back to try to help her fight Jason, and he just kind of tosses him aside, and she's just, "I got this, but thanks." It was a fun little line, but again, sure. I'm not a big fan of that scene.
Yeah,
and isn't it giving her an upgrade, not an upload? Because that sounds like you just kind of shot a load into her.
Yeah, that's upgrade. You've already given her plenty of uploads.
Also, the character names are weird.
Yeah,
especially for the soldiers. There's a guy named Kicker.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that he doesn't get killed by a kick. They missed an opportunity.
They did.
Just have Jason literally kick him in half or something.
Yeah, have him kick a hole through his torso or something. Or I don't know, have Busta Rhymes come in and give him a good, karate kick.
I will say when the robot, her name is KM.
Yeah.
When this is supposed to be way in the future, why is she doing the sideway gun thing? That's very 2000s dated. Just, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But at least we get Peter Mensa as Brodsky. And he fights Jason in space and burns up in the atmosphere.
I mean,
we even end it with it taking place in the original Camp Crystal Lake with the couple being like, "Oh, look, a shooting star. What do you wish for?" You see the Uber Jason mask at the bottom of the lake. You hear the the classic Jason music.
Yeah.
It works, which I hate that they basically changed that to the when it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And they made it chi ha ha ha.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Which seems quite strange, but My number 4 is the original Friday the 13th.
Okay.
I just.
It's slow. I get it.
It's very slow, and the only time I'm interested is when someone's about to die. The characters are, again, they feel like cartoons.
Yeah, that's fair.
They feel like Looney Tune characters getting killed by Jason.
They do.
There is before Betsy Palmer is revealed to be the killer, that when she kills. I need to go look up her name.
I got it. What's
She's the girl who gets killed with the bow and arrow. She's the first girl who gets thrown through the window. Brenda.
Okay, yeah.
Being portrayed by Laurie Bartram.
Yeah, Laurie Bartram.
Who unfortunately passed away in 2007.
Yeah.
May she rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I think she does a solid acting job when she hears the little girl scream.
Yeah.
And she's trying to find out. That scene is very tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know something bad is about to happen to her. You just don't know when. And when the lights come on and she's at, it's foreshadowed that she was going to die next to the bow and arrow shooting range.
Yeah.
And when she's backing up and then it, pans all the way out to the camp and you hear her scream, it's a legit terrifying scene and very good acting by her.
Yeah.
It's one of the few scenes I enjoyed that didn't have Betsy Palmer.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Bacon. Also, what's with the weird cop who comes to the camp and Ted's all dressed up like an Indian with his shirt and his underwear, and we're not going to stand for any weirdness around here. Why are you going there? Like, what's the problem? Betsy Palmer's great.
She's so
I
good.
just wish she was in the movie more. I wish we would have had more of a, put her in there more so we can...
I agree.
So when it's revealed she's the killer, it's more like, damn, why's it got to be her?
Sure.
Instead of, oh, well, this is a random character popping up near the end of the movie. It's obviously her.
Right.
But her little fight with Alice, I think it's kind of underrated. I think the final, the chase.
Yeah.
It works because Alice isn't always running. She does get her licks in.
Mm-hmm.
And Betsy Palmer slaps the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Damn! But what I'm curious about is, why does Betsy Palmer wait for the last victim to give her, his name was Jason.
Yeah.
You just, have been killing everyone else without uttering a word, but now that it's the final girl, you got to get your big evil speech in.
Right.
But it is a classic, and the ending is it's one of the most iconic endings. I would put it up there with the Halloween ending of Michael Myers not being there.
Yeah.
It's the best jump scare in my opinion.
Yeah, and
it's hard to
even
top.
after that, then he's still out there. I mean, just that's a great, for one, it's a well acted moment.
It is.
But
and the ending shot on the lake at that point, it's no longer like a beautiful serene. It's uncomfortable because he's there.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen next?
Yeah, it's ominous now instead of serene.
Mm-hmm. It's done very well, and even the cop who says, "Man, we didn't find any boy," I thought that was pretty well delivered as well.
Just confused.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I got goosebumps there.
Yeah.
It's really good. And of course, I talked about already the close-ups on Betsy Palmer's face of how uncomfortable it feels.
And you really see just the complete,
mental breakdown of this woman.
She is entirely out of her mind.
Yes, and not only do you see that with her facial expressions, her eyes just...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just
so good.
And when she'll do that very innocent looking look when she's talking as Jason.
I love how this movie also kind of rips off Halloween and The Shining.
Yeah.
We have the killer trying to get to our final girl who's trapped in a closet.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have the moment when she breaks the door.
Yeah.
And the...
Yeah.
I'm glad she doesn't say anything, but I like that evil smile she gives. Of, I'm about to get you, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the original Friday the 13th, my number 4. My number 3 is Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter.
Okay.
It's so good. Tom Savini making a comeback. The kills are great. The gore is great.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason's look without the mask.
Haunting.
Very haunting. The shot of when the older sister knocks that mask off and just the very slow reveal and the head wound and bleeding. It's good.
Yeah, it is just...
And
it's good and gross.
It's good and gross, and it's the closest that Jason has actually looked to the original Jason from part 1, which is
Right.
a huge bonus for me. Oh, so one thing I do need to harp on.
In the fourth one?
Yes, in the fourth one, he kills a character named Robin by grabbing her by the throat and throwing her out a window. And later we see Tommy Jarvis's sister get thrown out a window, and she's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like she has the final girl plot armor,
Right.
so she's got to live from this.
Right.
So
That's fair.
that was a bit of a bummer.
I do like the flip of the script, though, where we have Jason bursting through with Jason bursting through the glass. He grabs Tommy.
Oh, yes.
Where we have Jason smashing through the glass instead of seeing...
Well, we still see a body fly through
I know, but I like the fact that they then,
Well, we also get Jason jumping through glass in part 2 as well.
That's true.
But if only we could use the footage, I would like to get bodies going through a window count.
Yeah.
Because it's at least once in the first 8 films.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how many of these movies repeat the same beats, which is, I believe we kind of, I don't know if we got it on camera, but I know we've talked about it. One of the big issues I have with this franchise is that they don't necessarily try to attempt anything new. It's just they repeat the same tropes and the same beats, and when they do try something new, a la Jason Goes to Hell, it's garbage.
Yeah.
But Final Friday...
I mean, again, like we were talking about with Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Where it's like they tried to do something kind of new with Leatherface, and it fell flat.
That's being generous.
Right. I didn't mean to open that can of worms again. I'm just simply referring to...
Close it, damn it. I hate that movie.
The war's over, Grandpa. It's okay. Charlie's not in the trees.
Flashbacks. Oh, man. But I'm glad it wasn't the end of the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah.
Ironically, this is the last time Jason is alive from this point forward.
Technically,
he is a
yeah.
zombie. But Jason's death scene is great. Machete to the face, falling on the machete.
You see him slide down the blade of the machete.
And you hear him groan out in pain,
Yeah.
and it actually works instead of sounding like being hit in a video game.
Right.
And seeing like the weird tongue
Yes, this...
come out the mouth as he's falling
Yeah.
on it. And the fact that didn't even kill him.
Yeah.
Tommy picks up the machete and just goes wild.
Yeah.
And
You sort of see Tommy's psyche break in those final moments.
the very end of the film, he's
Yeah, which
hugging
is
his
that-
sister, and you see his eyes like widen and
Yeah.
get kind of serious, like he's about to be a killer.
Yeah.
It works, and Jason's outfit is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, Ted White does such a phenomenal job. Very menacing performance
Mhm.
that a lot of Jasons miss.
Yeah.
And it's not that they don't try, it's just that the quality of the film is bad.
Right.
Kind of like what I said with New Blood. It's a great Jason performance in a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Friday the 13th Part 2.
Okay.
Again, it has so many characters that it makes me care about who I don't want to see die.
Yeah.
Jason is, for wearing a sack over his head, he's kind of terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
The shrine he builds to his mom,
That's fucked up.
I hate that they had to age the decapitated head because unfortunately Paul Holt does say that it's been, I think, 5 months or 5 years.
I don't think it's 5 years, but yeah, it's been...
There's a significant time jump from Alice being killed to the camp in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought when Alice opens her refrigerator and sees Mrs. Voorhees' head, that's a better look than what we ended up getting near the end of the movie.
Where it just looks like a bigger version of like a shrunken voodoo doll head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I did like how the sweater was placed over it, though.
That was cool.
That was cool. And Jason with the sack over his head, it kind of worked for me.
Well, it's directly a nod to a movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
I didn't know that.
Which is another slash... I think this... Let me double check before I humiliate myself.
I know one of the...
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I know when he kills Jeff and Sandra with the spear through the bed,
Yeah.
that's a callback to a Italian horror film.
A Bay of Blood, which is one of my favorite horror movies.
It's
Now, wasn't it a coincidence, though?
It may...
I think I remember seeing in
I believe it was a coincidence. I'd have to go back and watch
Crystal Lake Memories.
either Crystal Lake Memories or Going to Pieces, which is a documentary over the rise and fall of the slasher genre.
I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure...
Which, if you're into slashers, check out Going to Pieces. It's a great documentary.
Is it on Shudder or is it on Netflix?
It might be, but I do have it on DVD if you ever want to watch it.
I might borrow that from you. But I think it was in Crystal Lake Memories where I think they said it was a coincidence, but
It probably was because the actress playing Sandra was underage.
yeah,
And
so
they couldn't shoot a sex scene like
Right.
they wanted. Like, we kind of get the ending of the sex with her
Yeah.
like moaning,
yeah,
and then just like him laying on top of her.
yeah,
But
but she needed to be covered.
she had to be covered completely because she's underage.
She was 17, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why we get the kill the way we do, is so we don't see, a minor in, full
Yeah.
nudity. Which, the guy playing Jeff was apparently drugged doing that scene.
Drugged as in...
I think it's in Crystal Lake Memories where he was like very nervous about laying on top of her.
Oh,
And
yeah.
someone just goes, "Hey, open your
here,
mouth."
open your mouth, yeah. Yeah, like...
Terrible
Coke
thing
or whatever it was.
Terrible
Yeah.
thing to do. He was like, "I don't remember anything
Yeah.
after that."
Yeah, that's
But I was relaxed.
pretty fucked up.
And the actress playing Vicky was also underage. And I believe the actress has gone on and said she kind of wishes she would have had one of her parents when
Yeah.
she's spraying her privates with the perfume.
Right.
Like, granted, you don't see anything, but
Yeah.
it is a little gratuitous for an underage female to be doing
Now
that
I
on
forget,
camera.
did Steve Miner know?
I'd have to double check.
Okay.
I can't say yes and no for
I was
sure.
going to say, as I'm, whatever, doesn't matter.
I do hate how the Jenny's child psychology thing is a throwaway line that they only bring back later. I wish it would have been more of a reoccurrence throughout the film to really build up her smarts that it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
At least they already established that her car has problems, though. So when it doesn't start later, it makes sense.
Right.
And I just hate that they killed Crazy Ralph.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he went from being Crazy Ralph to Peeping Tom, and Jason had to make him pay for it.
Right.
But I hate that. And even when he encounters Jeff and Sandra with his, "You're all doomed."
Mm-hmm.
Just why couldn't we have kept that? I mean, even the actor comes back for, he comes back in part 7 in the narration voiceover.
That's right.
Like, there was no need to kill him. Come on.
That's the only time where I felt like the Jason recap was acceptable because it was Walt Gorney.
And one of the only times it was done well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it was like
I didn't hate Paul Holt's recap, but it made sense why he was doing it.
Yeah.
Because you just had the original, and even after he gives his recap and that stupid idiot Ted comes out to do his stupid little scare, Paul Holt stands up and says, "All right, that's it about Jason. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah.
The old camp is off limits."
he was addressing the elephant in the room.
Yes. So I was fine with it. Make it make sense, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Unlike damn near the rest of these movies where it doesn't make sense. It's just there to build up the man, the myth, the legend, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
And again, Jenny is hands down the best final girl
Jenny is
in
one of the
this
best.
entire franchise.
Yeah, definitely in the franchise.
And I wish we could have gotten more from the character and more from Amy Steele. Damn her agent.
Bastard.
I knew it was coming.
I'm sure we'll talk about that movie at some point once you finally see it.
Which leads to my number one, Jason Lives, part 6.
what can you say?
We've already talked about it extensively. It has a little bit of everything for even like a casual moviegoer.
Yeah.
They could enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's not nearly as grimy as some of the other ones. So, if you don't care for excessive gore or nudity, you can still probably enjoy the movie. There's no nudity in it. There's blood in it, but it's not a ton because again, MPAA. But you do have that extra tension of, there are actual children present finally.
Even the one-liners in this movie work.
Absolutely.
I love wherever the red dot goes, shebang.
Yeah.
And I
the
love
callback to that.
I love Tommy uses that on him later, and that cop does his reaction of being deceived by Megan.
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah. It just makes me think of Drake and Josh. Megan. Just.
Oh man. And I love how even after the cops stop Megan and Tommy from getting away, all the sheriff sees is Tommy's head rising up from his daughter's lap. The one out of character moment for me is when the sheriff is pointing the shotgun at his daughter.
Oh yeah,
that didn't feel something that that character would have done at that point.
Sure,
but probably the only thing I can harp on about that character,
right?
Because it is very well performed, and just his passion for his daughter to make sure she's safe, and the fact that he empathized with Tommy about what happened to his family. It was good.
Yeah,
he's such a good character. I hate that he had to die, but it had to happen.
At least it was a good kill.
It wasn't. At least it went down fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of these characters can't say that.
Right.
And yeah, it was really good. And real quick, if I can go back to part 2, because I just thought of this.
Okay.
This movie also rips off Halloween 2 with the hammer kill to a cop.
Oh, that's right.
Hammer to the back to the head.
Yeah.
Except, I love when this cop is chasing down Jason, and Jason is kind of speed walking or somewhat running, because he runs in this movie. In part 2, he runs through a puddle. And then the cop kind of jumps on rocks to avoid from getting his feet. I
forgot about that.
It made me laugh when
really
I went
funny.
back and rewatched it.
That was really funny.
I had to bring that up. It was a funny little moment for me.
Yeah.
But Jason Lives. I was really torn because the horror comedy route usually does not work for me.
Sure.
I had a hard time putting Jason Lives over Friday the 13th Part 2. But that's just how
it's
good
just
that
so
movie
damn
is.
good.
And, kind of as I was saying earlier when we took a bit of a break, Jason Lives Part 6 is up here.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have, Part 2, 3, and 1.
Not 2, 3, and 1, 2, 4, and 1.
Well, yeah, my bad. 2, 4, and 1. You're right, sorry.
Yeah.
Part 6, 2, 4, and 1. Then you kind of have the middle, and then you have the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
But that's just how good Jason Lives is. I can't sit there and say I enjoy Part 2 more because I just don't. I have a lot more fun watching Part 6, and the one-liners are great. The horror is great. Mm-hmm. The acting is solid.
And the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is good, is kick-ass, quite frankly. Yeah. And the kills are great.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing more you could ask for from a Jason film.
Yeah.
And again, the mocking the 007 opening was awesome and ballsy, frankly. But that's my list. So number 12, Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the 13th Part 8. Number 11, Jason Goes to Hell, Final Friday. Number 10, Friday the 13th Part 3D. Number 9, Friday the 13th New Blood. Number 8, Freddy vs. Jason. 7, Friday the 13th Part 5 New Beginning. Number 6, Friday the 13th 2009 Remake. Number 5, Jason X. Even when I did my list, I couldn't believe I had Jason X so high.
Yeah.
Number 4, the original Friday 13th. Number 3, Friday 13th Part 4. Number 2, Friday 13th Part 2. Number 1, undisputedly number 1,
Just
Friday 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And that will do it for our Jason coverage. Next time it will be episode 5 for us on the podcast. And we'll be talking about why are Part 5s in horror films so bad?
just it's almost always a shit show.
You have a couple gems out there,
Yeah.
but for the most part,
I
they're...
mean, Friday 5.
Yeah, Friday
is-
5.
It's not great, but it's
It's gotten some love over the years.
It's watchable.
It got panned when it first came
that's
out.
also how I describe Hellraiser 5. It's not great, but it's it's not bad.
But for the most part, Part 5s are trash. Yeah. And that's what we'll be talking about next time. So, Will, you want to close this out?
Absolutely. That's our show. I'm Will Lastly,
I'm Alex Maynard.
and until next time, be right back.